tell. So I'm just going to say hi to everyone for like 5 minutes until we know for sure. Hi. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, we are live. Let me close this down.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everybody. Surprise. We're just hanging out, having fun. Okay, so this is actually something Justin and I talked about before. If you haven't been following, which I know actually a lot of you have been, tell us how you found it. So this is all about a meteorite. And tell us how you actually found the thing, because it's on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, so this meteorite, suspected meteorite, I should say, here in Montana, that's really about all I'm willing to divulge. But
so the location is somewhat secret.
Right now, just because I think that there might be more, so I might go out and collect those.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna now? Did you find this metal detecting, or did you spot it?
It is magnetic. I certainly not using a metal detector, but it just looks funky. It's one of these rocks where you think, like there's some potential there. It just looks different. And most of the time with these things, they don't pan out, right? Like pretty much any time you think it's a meteorite, it's not. So I sent it to the New England Meteoritical Laboratory in New England.
Say that again.
Meteoritical.
Meteoritical. Okay.
Yeah.
We've got the proper terminology.
Yeah. So they do laboratory testing to confirm or deny if it is indeed a meteorite, and then they provide kind of a breakdown of if it is, what it's made out of, and estimated value, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because some meteorites, depending on their composition, are worth like a lot of money because they're so rare. The more iron heavy ones, which I'm guessing is what yours is, are a little less rare, but the ones that are the size that you found are more rare.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and so I got I got an email ahead of time, so I don't know if I want to spoil it here or not, but I do have the unopened box, and Amy thought it'd be fun if I just open it up and do an unboxing and see what's inside. So
because I know some of you out there are science geeks like we are. So
yeah.
Do you have a picture that you can pull up?
Let me see here. I have one on my phone, but that doesn't help me very much.
And I'll see. Oh, yep, we are live. Yeah, this is just science geeky stuff, guys.
Yeah, so it's going to take me just a minute to get a photo up, so I apologize.
I have to say, as soon as I saw it, I should have I found a little meteorite, and mine was itty bitty.
Yeah?
But it was confirmed. It was very exciting. I found it when I was fossil hunting in Boulder.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it was nothing like yours. When I saw yours, I was so jealous.
Just happened upon it, let's see here. Okay, so what I'm doing is emailing this photo to myself, so I'll have it on this computer.
I'm going to go say hi to everyone. So, hi, Tony Rusi. Hi, Rudy Green, Treasure Hunter. Hi, JK. JK Pioneer. Oh, JK says hi, Justin.
Hello.
Tony Rusi says, hey, Justin. Silver Fox, hola. Wait, it's not confirmed? Oh, well, sort of. He got a spoiler email, but we're opening the actual box right now. Captain Marvel, not important. It didn't happen to be King Tut. Oh, King Tut's dagger. Are you aware of King Tut's dagger?
No.
So King Tut's dagger is actually made from a meteorite. It's an iron composition that was not man-made at the time. You could only mine it from a meteorite. So yeah, that's awesome. King Tut's dagger. Cool. Yeah.
All right, I'll try and share my desktop here and see if this will work. Maybe you can see the picture of the suspected meteorite.
A meteorite. That's not slag. That is a meteorite. Dang it.
Yeah, I mean it's very dense, and it's magnetic, and I thought that was enough to raise my eyebrows. So, I sent it in. So yeah, again, I got the box here. Actually, I'm gonna need to get some scissors or something to open this. So
Okay, yeah, take
give
your
me
time.
1 second.
I'll
I'll be
keep
right back.
saying hi to the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Well, because I can. I like science. I do too, because I can. Be cross. Greetings to Amy and Justin. Supposedly, nearly all the nickel on Earth is from meteorite impacts, so you may have some meteorite in your pocket. Oh, very true. Wrong way, Corrigan. Justin, congrats. Yeah, and there we go. Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll cover up my address, but we got New
That's a good
England
idea.
Meteoritical. Yeah.
Look at that.
So I'll go ahead and open it, I guess.
This is my very first unboxing video.
Well, me too. Yeah. It's kind of a cool idea.
And you guys, as always, let me know if I have any echoes or anything. Yeah, slag. So a lot of JK Pioneer, a lot of meteorites are actually slag. And that's why it's so interesting where this one was found, which is not in the areas of where any slag or anything would be, because that's one of the first things you have to try and eliminate, as far as if it's a meteorite or not. If it's a meteor not, or meteor wrong, that's what they call it. Meteorite versus a meteor wrong. Ooh, they packaged that up nice.
I don't know. Pretty much just
a
big mess is what it is. Shoot. Yeah.
Go ahead. You can. Yeah.
I'm gonna set it here while I grab
Yes.
grab something to catch this stuff. Jeez.
Justin. That's a mess. Oh my lord. Oh, this is for you, Bobby D. I know you're not in the room yet, but don't forget to like or dislike this video and click the subscribe button if you want to see more.
Okay, I just grabbed a bowl to like dump it in here, so just dump all this stuff in here.
It's fun. It's totally Science Friday. I spent the day looking at the pictures that Justin had posted about all the vegetative matter in their search spot. So I got out, I think, 13 books, reference books, to go through.
Well, thank you for digging into that.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I'm like, this one's more these leaves are more serrated. These are larger. These are smaller. Da 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 da. It was really cool. Refreshing my biology, knowledge. Oh.
Yeah. So there's a letter in there too, but I'll go ahead and show you the rock here.
That is huge.
Well,
that's huge.
Oh, they put it in a bag.
Oh my god,
Get
that's
the bag
huge.
open.
Oh my god. Okay, for me, it's just so
Sticker
cool
on.
because.
Says,
What's the sticker say?
NEMS testing, meteoritetesting.org.
Oh, there's a .org for meteorite testing. I
Yeah,
did
imagine
not know
that, huh? I think that's all kind of the same place at that Meteoritical Society. They do all that testing.
So
in New
did they
England.
use an ablative technique to judge what was in there? Or did
Yeah.
they cut into it?
I can see where they made the cut. So they make a
Okay.
very small slice. You can kind of on the end there.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you know what those? Oh, that's so cool. Because those things, when they look at the crystal structure underneath they put light under it. I bet that's what they did.
Yeah, that might have been. So anyway, that's the suspected meteorite.
What's the weight?
It's heavy. It feels like about 4 pounds, I'd say. It's just so dense. Yeah. So.
That is beautiful. Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Let's see what's in here. Okay, several papers.
Oh wow. They really did an analysis.
Yeah, so first one here says New England Meteoritical Services. Is this testing program of value and helpful to you? Was it beneficial? Oh, so it looks like it's maybe just like a survey or something about whether or not I found it to be of value. So
you get to
fairly
take a
interesting.
survey.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
like to take a survey?
Huh, interesting. Okay. The next one here looks slightly more official. It's like a kind of a yellow color. Yeah, so this is from the New England Meteoritical Services. Says
How did you find them? Like, did you just look up? Like,
I just
did you
searched
look
for it
up,
online.
Like, who can analyze my meteorite? What did
Yeah,
you put in the search
I wanted
box?
to know someone who could test it, so I kind of wanted some certainty. Yeah, so it's actually been sitting at the post office for a little while, so I just picked it up since I've been over near West Yellowstone. So it says October 2nd, Dear Justin, thank you for sending the sample and using the testing service. The sample is more than adequate for testing, and we can confirm that it is a meteorite. Yeah, but that's cool.
That's awesome.
There's some additional comments here. It says there are minor meteoritic inclusions in the sample. It is regmaglyptid. And the mineral...
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, really. And the mineral schreibersite was observed. I do not know what that means.
Schreibersite.
Lots of terms to look up here.
All right, you guys in the chat, look up Schreibersite. How do you spell that?
Schreibersite. Yeah. Go figure, huh?
So let us know in the chat what that is.
Yeah, the meteorite has not been formally classified and may be paired with a known existing find. The initial testing indicates that it is a coarse octahedrite, nickel at 6.83%, regmaglyptid iron meteorite weighing 756.6 grams. The value of an unclassified iron meteorite regmaglyptid whole specimen of this weight and condition is in the area of $9,000 to $11,000. Wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah, Christmas came early. That's all there is.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Exciting.
Yeah, that is cool.
All right, show us the meteorite again. Show us what everyone else is going to be looking for now when they're out and about, because...
Yeah. This is a consolation prize from the Fenn Treasure Hunt. No?
Holy cow!
That's pretty cool.
And you get to keep it, unlike the diamond.
Yeah, that's true. Hey.
So what are you going to do with it?
I don't know. There's a couple other pieces of paper in here. Let's see. This one... Perhaps you believe that the sample or samples you sent are meteorites and disagree with our examination results, or you may want to know more and would like another opinion. That's kind of cool. So they're just giving a list of other people that like do testing in case you want to send it to them.
Well, I can imagine that they have tons of people sending in rocks, and they're like, upset, it's so not a meteorite.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Cool.
Oh
Cool. That's exciting. And then the only other things in here looks like there's a frequently asked questions and a just a description of what meteorites are. Maybe.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of talks about history and what they are and what the testing program does. So yeah,
so what did you think when you found it? Like, was there anything did you just go, I'll just put it in my backpack? Or were you like, like...
it's like, it sat here for a little while and I just kind of, my grandpa was a big time rock hound. And, Tony Henman, of course, he's a huge rock hound.
Was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And in fact, actually, I should show. So when I saw Tony this weekend, he gave me some rocks here as well. Just looks like some type of jasper. I'd actually like to put it through the rock tumbler and kind of shine them up a little bit more,
Yeah, wait.
I think he said it's jasper.
I know the name of... Is it a jasper, or is it... That looks like... I used to rock hound more. There's like a more specific name for the... Chert.
Chert. Okay, I'll look that up.
Like I say, it's been a while since I've gotten to. Although I have all my books back here too.
Yeah, well, look it up for me. Chert.
I think it's chert. Is it a caramel color?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Does it have like any conchoidal fractures on it, as if it were more like glass-like?
I think so.
It might be chert.
Okay.
Chert was also something that was used because you could make conchoidal, fractures in it that could give you a sharper edge.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. Is that something you could put in a rock tumbler and shine up, or?
I don't know if I've ever tumbled chert before.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got a rock tumbler. I just haven't used it for a long time.
I haven't used mine in ages. It does.
It takes forever, and sometimes it doesn't turn out good, and you're like, well, that wasn't worth the 48 hours of tumbling.
Look at the draw. Maybe I'll throw the meteorite in there and see what happens.
No, God, no. I would come straight there and stop you. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
I know. There were
It's surprisingly heavy. I mean, geez, probably break the tumbler.
You should, if there's, you don't have a microscope or anything, right?
No, not here anyway. No.
So when they cut off, one way that they can tell what type of meteorite it is by the crystalline structure involved. It can also tell you how fast it cooled, or that kind of stuff. And so when they slice that off, sometimes they do a little, a light thing, and they'll take a look at the crystal structure while turning it in the light under a microscope. And I'm guessing that's what they did, but
That sounds cool.
it is, and that's it's a really great way to tell what type of meteorite it is, even before any kind of ablative analysis or anything like that, where they're shooting photons at or whatever they do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not that
Interesting.
sciencey. Let's see. Okay, put Amy Seeks. I see an Amy Seeks. Please share your floral findings on here later.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Do you want me to do that now?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Fine by me, yeah.
Should I do
absolutely.
that now? What was it? Oh, and Susie Fenhaven, you should have gotten an invite. I don't see you in here yet, though, but if you are, let me know. Okay, I will. Let's see here.
Caught you off guard.
I was not mentally prepared. I was talking about it before with you.
Nah.
So, let's see here. I actually do have a folder of this. Let's see here. Share screen. Sorry, guys. Hey, Alan. If anyone sees Susie Fenhaven in the room, let her know. So Susie Fenhaven was thinking about doing Fridays with Susie. So she was planning on going live after us. So I don't want to go too long. And she was actually going to pop in and say hi. Okay, so I collected some aspen leaves that had kind of degraded a little bit for photographic comparison. Also some leaves of 3. This is more of a blackberry. The strawberries have a different one. Let's go ahead and share screen. Oh, and I have all my books. I have my books over there, so I'll grab those in a second.
Okay.
So not prepared for this. Okay.
Well, those calluses look familiar.
All right, hold on one second. I'll grab my books.
Sure. Yeah, so those are some of the samples that I collected from this potential find area. I just wanted to see if we can match these up with something that was in the original treasure photos. Okay. So here we are.
No place to put my books. Okay. So many books. All right, and let's see. I'll keep trying to watch the chat. So
Sure.
put at Amy Seeks if you have a question of anything I'm talking about. And I'll put that close by. There's not enough room on this table. Everything is going to fall off. Okay, so as you guys can see here, one way to identify pine trees, especially, is by the way their needles are clumped. And this is one of the images that Justin put up on Facebook, where you can see these are needles of 2. They're grouped in 2. In general, that's a lodgepole pine. And the lodgepole pines, it's not surprising, the lodgepole pines are all over Yellowstone. And so, let's see here. I'm going to stop share. I've got all my little tabs here for my different books.
You've been busy.
Oh, I just can't help myself when I get out my reference books. I get so excited. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up. I know it's going to be difficult for you guys to see, but this is, oh, it won't focus. Focus. Anyway, you see here we have that, the needles of 2, and that's your lodgepole pine.
Very cool. Okay.
So, and there aren't, basically I think that's what you get there, for the leaves of 2. I didn't see anything else that had such a distinct needles of 2. I should say needles of 2. And then here's your quaking aspen, which is what I'm leaning towards the leaf being. Mm-hmm. And that, I have lots of quaking aspen where I am. So you can see all these leaves here. I wish it would focus better, but these are all the leaves here. Oh, I bet I could put it on autofocus, but oh well. So I collected a bunch of decayed leaves so that we could try and compare it to the image. And let's see here. So I'll show the chat. Colorado books, yes. Let's go back to screen share. And we'll kind of show these different images that we've got. Move you. Oops. Oh no, what's happening? Windows closed. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was not prepared. There we go. And there we go. Zoom meeting. I wonder if this would be easier in OBS. At least you guys got some background music.
I'm digging it. Yeah, I'm very curious to see if, I mean, it's really not going to tell us a heck of a lot, but it could disprove it if the needles in the original treasure found photo are not Lodgepole Pine.
I think they are.
Okay.
Let's see here. There we go. I got that moved. And let's see if we can move these. There we go. Okay. So let's go to chest image here. Try and zoom in. Don't know. Okay, so this is going to be hard to see, but you see down here?
I do, yeah. That's a pair.
The needle of 2. So
Yeah.
that was probably the most distinct one I could pick up. You can pick that up in various places, but it's harder to see in these other areas. But, you know, I would say almost definitively Lodgepole Pine is what we have going on there. And let's see, I actually enhanced some of these photos. So let's go. Come on, go to the next one. I just hate computers. There we go. So, and I'll get back to that image as far as that being.
Okay.
So here we have the needles of 2. And as you saw earlier, Lodgepole Pine for those. And again, it's not surprising. They are all over this area. And when you took that image, let's see here. So this is what we'll be exploring. Actually, I want to get to the enhanced images.
Yeah, and I do see the Lodgepole Pine pair in this photo as well.
So you guys see this right here?
Ah, yeah, that's that famous deciduous leaf.
That's the one thing we have in here that is deciduous. It's just this one little thing right here. That's all we got to go off of as potentially having some sort of or deciduous origin. And so I enhanced one of the photos, as you can see here. So that there you go. You can kind of see that a little bit better as being the 2 needles that are clumped together. Now, obviously, this is tricky because, it could have lost a needle. This just isn't definitive. We're guesstimating based off of the evidence that we have. There was also, I believe, let me move this, right here, a potential deciduous leaf, the same, possibly, but boy, is that hard to tell, right?
It is hard, yeah.
This is scientifically difficult to have anything definitive here. Okay, and this is one of the enhanced images as well. So this is the deciduous leaf that we are trying to guesstimate at what it is. I think it's I would say it's easier to say that it's Lodgepole Pine. They're everywhere anyway. And a lot of these, even the stacked ones, looked like 2 needles if you look at them. And even if this is a quaking aspen, even if this is an aspen leaf, it doesn't necessarily rule out the area you were in, because aspen leaves, in a high wind situation can travel a ways, right?
That's fair, yeah.
So none of this, unfortunately, is definitive. Let's see here. Jeep Girl Jody, Colorado Books. Captain Marvel, you would have to assume that the chest is sitting in the place that it was found. Well, we do know that he said it was a nook. He was shortly, it was like removed from the nook. Like we know that it was supposedly pretty close, right? This picture was taken.
And there was one, in the on the Medium article, if you look at the caption of one of the photos, it says taken a few feet away from the nook. So I think it's pretty definitive, unless the finder is fibbing.
That's right, yeah. Which of course he could be. There's a lot of discrepancies, like the dragon bracelet that is in a cloth bag, but then it's not in a cloth bag in the picture. Now let's go back. I want to go back to the images because I do have a question for you here. Sorry, hold on.
No problem.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this is this what you're guessing may have been the deciduous leaf in that image?
It's the closest thing that I saw in the immediate area. What I was trying to find was a good dried specimen of one of these, to kind of get some context. And I just couldn't find any. I think I suspect it was maybe just the time of year. I see kind of one dried one to the left of the chapstick, but
yes,
there were some other ones that were starting to decay, but they were like totally flat. They weren't like all wrinkled up like that. I wish I would have gotten a picture of one of those, but the main thing that seems a little strange to me is that these don't, as far as I can tell from the photo, don't have quite the exact same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the research that I did today, which it wasn't intensive. It was just like zooming through my books and being like, I think that's a wild strawberry. Let's double check. Let's see leaves of 3. So different ways you can identify a leaf is there's more scientific term from it that I always mess up. But basically you have a grouping of 3, you have a grouping of 3, you have a grouping of 3, you have a grouping of 3. Leaves of 3, let them be, is a poison ivy term because many times leaves of 3 is poison ivy. However, poison ivies don't have these serrated edges quite as much as a wild strawberry. So I'm heavily leaning towards this being a wild strawberry. If you can see this sprout here and this little sprout here, wild strawberries will have runners and they will sprout up these little runners here, here, and here. So, and they also turn red in fall. So my best guess is that these are wild strawberries.
Very cool.
Yeah, and you can see another little one popping up here, and you can see this one starting to change color. One thing also that you'll notice is that the leaves are all the same size. That's also an indicator of what type of plant it is, changing color. And then so I'll go to the images I pulled up from pictures that people had taken of these. Let's see here. Okay, so these are wild strawberries changing color.
Yeah, that looks pretty darn close, doesn't it?
You got the serrated edges there, leaves of 3, same colors, kind of closer together in a group, of course. Here's also another shot. Leaves of 3, leaves of 3. And then we get into, here's another shot of wild strawberries. And then we get into the poison ivy. So you see how it's a little less serrated on these. But, it's close, but it's a little less serrated.
Yep, so there's certainly a difference, yeah.
Yeah. But you can see how people can mistake wild strawberries for that. Lista, I agree, or a berry of some sort. Yeah, that's correct, Alec K. So I'm guessing the images there were of the wild strawberry variety, and they don't. So going back to this image, we don't have the serrated edges on this one, and I'll start pulling up some of the aspen that I pulled out of my yard today. Ooh, detritus. Oh, you're going everywhere.
It's like me unboxing the meteorite.
Yeah. Okay, I also have, I guess I'll stop sharing. So take a look at this, everyone. So you see, we have a little bit smoother, a little bit rounded, a little bit pointed there, and size-wise, pretty small. We were talking about this in the Zoom the other night. I was guessing it was larger, but after looking at this, I think James is right. James? Pretty sure it's James was right about the size being smaller than I thought.
What's funny about that is I actually spent a lot of time trying to find a bigger one to take a photo of, because Most of them were smaller because I thought the one in the photo was bigger for whatever reason. So it's
I did too.
Kind of silly. I don't know why I did that.
So here's a leaf of 3, but this is a raspberry, and you can see where you have this larger leaf and the 2 smaller leaves.
Yep.
So again, very different from the wild strawberry, where the leaves are all the same, and a little bit more evenly serrated. Okay, so I gathered leaves. This is so all right. So I'll just pull out a few here. So that you guys can look at them as far as, it's really hard with it not focusing correctly.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Now these are fairly newly fallen, so the pattern on the decay has got that rim on the top. After they've decayed a little bit more, they're more even. They're a little bit more like this, as far as that's concerned. So, I think I already showed that one. But you can see approximately the size as it's starting to decay. I have like 4 billion of these if you guys want any.
Yeah, I've got a couple more billion outside here, so yeah.
Yeah. So now let's go back to the image there. So you guys can take a look. There you go. So you see how one thing that's interesting is the decay on this one. We don't have any color left in it. There's no gold, so either if it is an aspen, either it fell and then slowly decayed into this.
Well, given that this was found in June, right? This is from last season, right?
It's possible. See, that's what I'm trying to figure out here, is that normally, of course, you would have tons of aspen leaves, right? If it were in fall, it would be covered with aspen leaves if there was a tree nearby. The fact that there's only one in this whole image makes me wonder if there was a tree further away, and this is left over from last year. They do drop their leaves during the year in decay. They don't only drop their leaves in the fall, but the fall is when they drop all their leaves.
Right.
So is this left over from last year's fall? In which case there's very few of them left that haven't fully decayed? Or is it blown in from a deciduous tree from far away?
Right. Yeah, it could make sense that it could have blown in from another site. I mean, the winds through there, just in my anecdotal experience, have been pretty intense from time to time. So
yes, very intense
it's
winds.
just tough to say. I just really wish that we had kind of a smoking gun here where we could say, look, this is not the site, this is why. Or
one leaf doesn't give us that. One leaf says maybe not, but maybe. Aspen leaves can travel a long way. That one had no color left, and so I'm guessing it might have been from last year's fall, which means who knows how far the wind could have blown it during that time.
Right. That's true. For me, what I was really trying to focus on is the only other thing in that photo that is of merit or could be kind of identified after the fact was the wood grains, and I spent a lot of time looking at the wood grain in the upper right portion of the photo here to see if I could find a match. There's kind of a unique knot on that log.
This one?
Both of them, yeah, that one too. See, now that I don't know if I want to steal Candy's thunder, but Candy found something that is actually compelling to me, at least, with that piece right there. So if you can do a little detective work on your own audience, and if you see something in the newer photos that looks like that, then let me know. So
the photos that you took, let me go back here.
Yeah.
We have that log, but of course that's from the top. Are you talking like this?
I don't know which picture she got it from. I've been working all day. I don't think this is the one. No, No, it's not this photo. There should be another one that's maybe like a more close up of that log. There should be one more, I think. I hope.
Ah, this one?
You know what? Let me see if I can pull it up here. Just 1 minute.
Okay, I'll stop screen share. I love detective work. It's so fun. I love science.
Let's see.
And now I have all these leaves. Who wants some leaves? It's fall.
So yeah, actually, the ones that Candy had sent me she had blown up. I don't know if I would share the photos that she marked up, just because maybe she's excited about sharing those herself.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she has been working hard. She is all about sharing. But Candy, if you're in the room at all, I can text her.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I wonder which one this came from. Let me pull up Facebook and see which one I posted.
Okay, I'll text Candy and say.
I'd like to show it, but again, I mean, she really identified that, so again, I'd be a little nervous about just running over the top of her.
I agree. If there's anything I want people to get is credit for all the hard work that they do.
Yeah.
I'll text her, and I'll send her. I'll make sure that her and Susie got the Zoom bite.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably wait for her on that one, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah,
That's okay.
she sent. I know she sent it to me as well, but like I say,
okay.
Yeah, but if I know Candy, she'll be like, share it.
Yeah.
But totally being respectful here to make sure. And let me there we go. And you have to get going though, right?
I've got at least another 15 minutes or so.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, maybe she's just busy right now. But beyond that, what I had noticed is that the decomposition of the main log in these photos that we've been talking about was a bit accelerated. It was more than I would have anticipated. And I think the reason for that, as far as I can tell, is all my opinion, of course, but it looks like someone stepped on top of that log, and
here, I'll bring that picture up.
That kind of resulted in it. Yeah, that'd be good. I'll show you.
Do you want the wider one?
Yeah, maybe the wider one would be best.
Okay. Go. My little mouse clicker is dying on me.
Oh.
Go. Change. I hate you, mouse clicker. Why do you plague me so?
But you can even kind of tell in this photo here on the left side how it's there's a fair amount of decomposition going on there.
Okay, we're doing. Oh no, I did it again.
Hey, look, it's you.
Yeah.
That was just a flash.
Love it when that happens. Okay, give me just a second.
Sure. Yeah.
I let Candy know. Oh no, I didn't press send.
Oh. Yeah, that helps. But yeah, it looked like the finder had stepped on the log. It's really the best guess that I have.
Oh, wow, she's fast. Here she is.
Oh my.
Hey,
there
girl.
she is. We've been waiting for you. Oh, I don't know if she can hear us. She looks confused.
Okay. I have the pictures back up again.
Sure.
There we go.
Oh, it says it's still connecting audio for her, so she probably just can't hear us yet.
Okay, there we go.
Hello.
Hey, there she is.
Hello.
I wasn't gonna steal your thunder. I just mentioned that you found something of interest that you might.
No, I don't care. It's your photo.
Yeah, but you're the discoverer within the photo, so.
I was just waiting because I wasn't sure if K-Pro and Cynthia were gonna try and go live too, but aren't they still driving?
Yeah.
No, I emailed them to make sure. I emailed everyone. I'm like, is anyone going live? I'm like, I knew you weren't going live, Candy, but I know that, Susie, so tune in because Susie might be going live after this. But, I know K-Pro had talked about it and everything, so I emailed, and AGK sometimes goes live, so I emailed everyone. I'm like, is anyone going live and at what time?
You guys need a scheduling service.
Yes.
I've been trying to keep this quiet since this morning when I saw like Justin posted no photos, so I was like, oh, more information about something that's not real. So I click on it and I was like trying to be a smarty, and I'm like, if I were with you guys, I would have spent days looking for the pictures to match up, and then I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, like, never mind. I'm eating crow over here, so don't mind.
Are you really? Okay. So tell us what you're talking about, because I don't know about this.
It's Justin's photo.
Oh, I insist, Candy. I mean, you're the one that picked it out for the photo, so please go ahead.
All right. Well, Justin, you go ahead and share, and Candy can talk about it.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I mean, Justin has the photos, the terrible photos that I tried zooming in for everybody, and it's just like we've got one photo from the Finder that'll show that log.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let me go ahead and get it to myself. 1 second. I gotta email it to
I
me.
know I have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I go from my iPad to my computer to my, and I'm just like,
Oh,
my
actually,
Lord.
no. I can just sign into Facebook here. How about that? Okay.
I'll answer some question. What kind of scientist am I? So I used to work in a molecular biology lab, but then I finally graduated with molecular biology and fine arts. But I think it was more biology than molecular biology. So I'm not a scientist right now. That answers it. Interesting timing. 4th. I don't know what that means, Craig. Oh, and here's Chasing Indy. Did Justin say he was going to share the photo I showed him? Yes, he did. But we wanted your permission first to make sure.
I mean, but it's not my photo though. It's the Finder's photo and Justin's photo.
Yeah, but it's your find in the photo. So okay, we'll call it a co-find. How's that?
It's my small contribution to you guys and your awesome like adventure that I missed out on.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
I did too. I missed out on it, but we're here now. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh.
Try zooming in
because circles.
I suck at zooming in at stuff, and this is the only photo that shows this log right here, and that's obviously from the Finder because there's the chest right there.
Oh, I can't really zoom in. I was trying to zoom in on the screen, but it won't let me.
Well, I have another photo I could send you too, but it's like super grainy. That one.
This one, yeah.
So the middle one is yours, and then the other two on the sides are the one from the Finder.
This
it's
kind
just,
of
I only
feels
have
like,
that one photo.
This feels like when Forrest compared the pipe wood grain on Sitting Bull's peace pipe.
Right?
Remember when yeah. We're doing the same thing, forensic analysis on the wood grain.
Yeah,
well,
there
like,
was another photo I'm thinking of. Let me see if I can find it that might show this a little bit more clearly.
Show the regular one of yours that you took this morning.
Yeah, let me see.
This is fun. I'm really having fun doing this investigative stuff.
Let me see if I can pull that just 1 minute, of course. Facebook. Let me see if I can pull that other one up 1 minute. Okay.
Tony Rusi says, stop being so nice to each other.
What? Oh my God, we're probably on that hater channel right now, and I look like crap.
If we are, I have to do my... I always feel like self-conscious because I'm like, oh my God, I'm on 2 channels at the same time. I'm so excited. What should I do to entertain?
At least you look pretty. You look like all refreshed, and I'm like,
No. Candy, so someone made the best comment on our last video. They said, hey, don't you guys disparage yourselves. There might be young girls watching your show. Just say thank you to compliments and stuff like that. And I'm like, that was a good point. I will try and do that, but I'm not making any guarantees. It's hard to say thank you if somebody says something about your looks, because it feels like if you say thank you, that you're like, yeah, I agree, you know. It's hard to say that. All right, back to science.
Yeah, so again, this is the treasure photo, and in the upper left side, you can kind of see, I would call it a fairly unique structure on the log there. It looks like a crack of some sort.
It's like a 5 or an S shape.
Yeah, but certainly kind of a unique shape to it, right?
And then on top is a weird shape too. And so when you compare them both right next to each other, it's an exact match.
Yeah,
Oh
so there's
my-
that crack here. And this to me actually looks really similar.
Oh my God.
I know
No,
the
it's-
angle is
it's
slightly
even
off.
more. If you zoom in more, you can
uh-huh.
see that the 5 goes a little bit up more with the notch, but the last part where it goes up is like a little bit lighter in comparison to the one from the finder's photo, but it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having to toggle back and forth. Let me go ahead and break these out. Maybe
We
can
need
side by side.
Photoshop
Huh?
overlapping.
I spent all day trying to like reposition the shape to try and match it up to the finder's photo, and the best I got was that one that was like super grainy.
Yeah, it's tough to.
It's like almost so hard to tell. If somebody works in CAD or something like that where they can totally morph this, even in Photoshop you can do that.
You know, if I was back at the site, I would take a photo at that exact
Different
angle.
angle, right?
You know, and then
Right.
we'd have a better matchup. But unfortunately,
but
I
the-
just don't have it.
If you
What
zoom
about-
out of that picture you took, Justin,
Uh-huh.
I actually noticed the part where it shows the both of the logs touching in a V.
Yeah.
There's still an imprint of where the chest actually sat when they took the picture, because it
Oh,
was like
come on.
42 pounds.
Really?
And you could see the finder moved that log, because that log
my
wasn't
goodness.
officially there. They moved that log to try and cover up that indent.
Oh my goodness.
can
Well,
see
I'll
it.
have to pull that out up too. I'll have to let me if I can find that. Just give me 1 minute.
I have to
I'm
say
just
though,
saying,
I'm still
yesterday,
skeptical, but this
I
is
was
really fun.
completely like not on board at all. I was like, okay, they're my friends. I'll support them in their happiness. And then this morning I was just like, I called Kate Pro. I'm like, I'm eating crow right now with a side of milk. I'm so humbly sorry. You guys
I
are
don't
right.
know. I don't think it's a complete match. But I do think again it's still worth seeing if it is, right? Like I cannot definitively say no, it's not a match. But
Well, there's 2 pieces here. I wish I could annotate these. But
Let me see.
you see this line here. You see where my mouse is moving
yes.
on the right side? I think that
I'm covering yours.
guy matches this line here.
Sorry, being stupid.
Can you see that?
There we go. My red arrow is much nicer.
Here,
Ha ha.
I'll send you what I did. I sent Copper Dan 1 second.
Okay.
Because I retraced those images, the lines, I retraced them. Watch this. It makes it like a lot more prominent. Hold on, I'm getting 1,000 messages. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay.
1,000.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
everyone's like,
popular.
my message. Oh, it's the Hocus Pocus thing. Let me see.
Oh, answers, guesses.
Yes.
Yes,
There's
and yes.
Let's see. Because I repositioned the photo to, let me see. I think like the original. Did you show the yellow ones or did you show the blue ones, Justin?
I'm sorry?
For the photos I sent you, did you
Uh-huh.
show the one with the blue circle or the yellow circle?
I don't remember the color of the circle. Sorry. You can
Well,
show
because the yellow circle, I did not zoom in at all. I didn't like try and adjust the lightness to it or anything. It's just literally the same exact photos that were online, and I circled them. And I feel like that you could actually tell a lot better. So try going back to
Oh.
those photos and look for the yellow circled ones.
Okay.
Because that one you could tell
Looks
a
like
lot
I showed the blue ones. Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I think again, if I spent a little time and kind of rotated them and got them right next to each other and did the tracing, we might have a more definitive result here, one way or the other.
Right now, my brain is saying it's really close, but not the same.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a similarity. I can't say whether
so
or not
close.
it's exactly the same, but boy, it's close.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
and
what
it's
other
hard to
log
tell
do you
because when
have
you
a 5S?
what's that?
I'm saying, like, what other log do you know that has like a 5S shape on it, just chilling in the woods?
Well, that's why it's so
Just kill.
compelling. It's like they both have these, really deep carved things in them.
Let's see. I'm sending this to you, Amy.
Oh, to me. Oh, crap. Okay.
Yeah, I can't
On
find
which
the other one.
device?
Sorry.
On your email.
On my email. Okay, all right. Refreshing. Refresh.
Hold on, let me pull it up real fast.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like the ones that are untouched, you could probably see a lot better. Because I just tried going into my phone and zooming in and then trying to adjust the lighting so it's more like prominent to see.
Right.
So this is completely untouched. This is just from online.
I'll go ahead and share this again so that anyone watching later knows kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
so,
this is the log where I'm talking. I think it's actually someone has stepped on this to increase the rate of decomposition. I mean, the top of that log is pretty much destroyed. On the left side all the way to the center.
But this looks like years of pine needles.
Well, I think the pine needles are from the season, but like
a single season. This looks like a fir.
But if you look at all the other logs in the area, what I would say is that
this is
even at like kind of the same approximate age, they don't have that much like just destructive damage on top like that. It almost looks like someone stepped on it. Just my opinion.
Now, come on. Now, I've done a lot of hiking too, and I've definitely seen logs that look like this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just in this immediate vicinity, I was just trying to do side-by-side comparisons. That's all.
Yeah?
But yeah, I agree with you.
Right.
I mean, it could be natural too. You're absolutely right.
I'm leaning towards more natural, but like I say, these are guesstimates. These are
That's right.
guesstimates.
Yeah.
The firs do tend to drop their needles. This is a fir here. Well, now wait a second here. So we've got a tiny fir growing. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, there's actually a fir growing on its
fir.
side. If you'll notice in the upper left portion there, see that little.
This guy?
No, that's the dead guy right below him.
The dead guy, oh?
The dead fir. Yeah, ignore the dead guy, everyone.
And I have to say real quick. So Craig Carter, about that, I know nothing about that. In your Amy Seeks comment, so I'm not going to speak to it just because I know absolutely nothing about it.
Amy, did you check your email?
Oh, here we go. I'm refreshing.
Those are the ones that is more detailed. You could see it.
There it is. Okay, I'm going to send it to my computer.
And Candy, where on the log here were you actually looking? In the picture that's showing right now?
This one?
Like which section?
I don't think it was.
Or is it not this log at all?
Okay,
it's not that log at all. Go through your pictures and wait till you see that one.
Oh,
Oopsie.
I saw it.
Diggity.
In the
Hold
upper
on.
right. Very
Yep.
sneaky.
So go back.
Yeah,
This one?
there
That
it
one.
is.
Where? Here?
Okay, thank you.
Wait, where is it?
now.
Up? Where am I? Where should I zoom in on?
The lower left or lower right, excuse me. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, zoom in all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, there it
Next.
is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. There you
Thank
go,
you.
everyone.
It's just it's hard because it looks like an A with a check almost, but then it looks like a 5 or an S. And
Yeah.
then it also looks like it's got a Z on top and then a V underneath. And then if you look at the finder's photo with the chest, it has the exact same pattern.
Well, here's one thing I will say. What I did was, at first I thought on the left side you kind of see that white stuff on there. I almost thought that was paint. I actually think it's not anymore. It's almost like a naturally growing lichen or some sort of white moss or something. But anyhow, I wanted to see if it continued around the base. And when I lifted it, I was surprised at how fresh it was under there. There was virtually like no decomposition. And normally with logs, I would say that the decomposition happens from the moisture side up, right? So, where it's contacting the soil. So it almost looked like these had been moved, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I
yeah.
think the one on the left, the one with the white, I think that was added to that spot. Because if you look at the picture and the angle of the chest, it wouldn't have fit right there unless someone put something there.
Yep, I agree with you.
Okay.
I spent like all day obsessing over this photo because I'm not going to go out and be like, you guys the matches and like be 100% like, I don't want to be wrong. So.
Well, you can, that's the thing, whenever somebody's like 100% about something, and that was not a dig on James. It was just teasing the other night. Okay, so I have to say, but whenever you're absolute about something, it's like, it's really hard to be absolute about something. And so, okay, let's see here. I think I've got, give me just 1 second here. I think I've got this about ready to Candy's images, that is. But
it's just so hard because that finder photo, I swear, I don't think that person noticed that little etching in the log in the photo, because our original photo we got, the chest was open, so you couldn't see that marking.
Oh,
But
sorry
the
about
photo
that, guys.
from Medium had the chest closed, and you could see that marking.
It's gonna make the noise again. There we go. Sorry. Okay. So yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Candy's images here. Here's one of them. Okay, so this is from Justin's image, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, and then the next one. Oh,
That one.
right up
You gotta
here,
try
right?
and find a better quality of that stupid picture that I doubt we'll ever get.
It's interesting that image is one of the lowest quality ones on Medium, right?
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
other images are a higher quality.
Just scroll down more.
See, sorry,
There you go.
to that.
See? You can see the V underneath, and then you can see right where it makes a weird 5, right next to it makes a little tiny Z pattern, just
Okay,
like
I
the
do see
one
that.
in his.
So if we took a look at the other photo again,
And side by side.
Which one? I can't do side by side. Sorry, I can only do screen share.
that's okay. It's just
Can
the
you do
one we
side
were
by
just
side?
looking at before that one.
Okay. There we go. That one there.
Yes. Let's see here. It's tough to say, boy.
I know. Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, tough to say.
Oh, I feel like the circle that I did is kind of blocking the other piece of that Z.
Yeah, maybe slightly. Yeah.
Because there's the V underneath, and then you follow the 5, and then the Z.
Are you okay, Justin?
Oh, I just thinking it's like I wish I was back there so that I could actually, get
Pick
the
like a
angle
1,000.
at the right, get a photo at just the right angle. And it's like, golly, I just drove 4 hours. And it's like I almost want to go back. It's kind of silly. I just, I want to know either way. Like I just want it out of my mind. So like, the right photo I think would help, but I will.
Right, different angle. Yeah,
Yeah.
take 400 photos at different angles. One of them is going to be conclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we'll go back to this one again.
Well, I'm glad you caught that, Candy. Thank you.
Here's that little squiggle there.
I also did intense research on this area for you guys today, and I found out a lot. So I'm gonna send it to you and Kpro so she can add it to her video that she's doing, because it's like,
Do you know when
without a
she's
doubt,
gonna-
100%, this is the spot.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
100%.
I
Good math and all.
disagree. I'm still on the fence. I'm still like, nah.
Me
But
too. I mean,
I
it's-
adore the exploration of it.
when I
I'm having
first
so
saw
much
it, I
fun.
thought, oh my gosh, that actually is an exact match, And now it's like I still think it might be, but I need the 100%, It's,
That's how I am. I need something that really definitively nails it down for me, and I'm a skeptic, so it does take a lot. Like if you went back and took a picture, and we really did see them completely match up, I mean, I'd be like, I can't refute that, right? I'd be
Okay,
like,
do you remember when Fen said all we needed was the thrill of the chase, the poem, and a good map?
yeah, but he said stuff that contradicted that stuff too.
But
I mean,
the
he
good
said
map.
so many things that
The good
contradicted
map.
GPS coordinates, and that maybe encouraged GPS coordinates. We have both, unfortunately, because he has said so many things. I mean, as far as Fen quotes are concerned, the way he said different stuff could have been taken so many different ways that it could have been interpreted this way, And so just by what he says,
I'm not
it's
going to say
hard.
anything until tomorrow. I'm not going to steal your guys' spotlight, so I'm shutting up until tomorrow.
What do you mean steal the spotlight?
I'm not sure.
I don't
There's
know.
I don't know if you guys didn't research the area you're at, but I did, and it's 100%. It's like the fenniest fen solve of all fen solves, okay? Once you know exactly what it's talking about.
So let's go ahead.
Well, now I'm
and,
excited. See.
I'll go here. when you say the area, see if I can get it to go.
You know, I mean, I could see this concept of like hints in the book, right? I mean, he talks about the Yellowstone area, like that is a hint to the general area where it's hidden. So I mean, I think it's fair to say, like, if this is correct, that yeah, there's hints in the book, sure, but they're pretty vague, right?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I touched George Washington. Remember?
I do.
DeLacy.
Yeah, you're
Middle
already
name
giving
is
it away.
Washington. There's so many things, you guys. Oh my god. And I just want to put on the record, yesterday I was the biggest like skeptic ever, and I was like,
I recall.
my friends left me and didn't include me, and I still don't believe in their solve, and I was
Your
telling
friends
everyone
left
I don't
you.
believe in it.
They
You
did
can see my
leave
email.
you. They just
You can
went.
see my email. I was telling people, they were yelling at me, they're like, don't go on K-Pro's side, and they're just sellouts, and I'm like, they're my friends, go away, but I don't believe in it. But
there was a good post by Copper Dan who was like, hey, we disagreed and we're still friends. Who knew?
yeah, exactly. That's what
Yeah, it's
adults
all cool.
do.
All right. Okay. This is. I'll go ahead and share. This is from the post that Justin had put up. Let's see if I can do this correctly. I hate my mouse. Dang it! Every time I click on it, it doesn't quite work. Okay, there we go. So, are you talking about this area here? Like I say, I'm still skeptical, but I am loving the investigation.
Check this out real fast. Hold on.
Okay. Oh.
Actually, I'm gonna send it.
She's like,
Justin,
check
if I send this
out.
to you on Facebook, can you bring it onto your computer and share it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. You know that photo K-Pro said that they got sent from the finder or whatever? Or the person who knows the finder or whatever it is?
The source. Called
Yeah,
the
the
source.
source.
We've learned.
The
Yes,
source.
the source.
I'm sorry. The source. Hold on.
I'm interested to know if I met the source, since I was handing out tickets at, and I usually meet just about everyone at the Fenbury's and stuff like that. I'm like, I probably met the source. Hello, source. In case you remember me. Hi.
Okay, I sent it to you, Justin.
And I'm not bashing your solve the source at all. Just being
Okay.
all sciencey.
The source sounds like an evil villain's name.
Does it? We were told to use the source as opposed to anonymous, because apparently anonymous
Love
has a
it.
bad
It's funny.
connotation. So,
Okay, see that happens when I just Google that spot. That's exactly what happens. You see your downed tilted tree in the background, the one that you guys found.
Oh, that's not the one we found. That's right on the trail there. That's a different tree.
From like
So I
a
wanna
different
say,
perspective. That's
real quick,
the same-
biology
that's too
wise,
close
I
to
wanna-
the trail. Yeah,
I want to speak real quick to Lodgepole Pines and their biology, because this might help people understand the odds of stuff like this happening. So Lodgepole Pines are called Lodgepole Pines because they're used to build lodges because they're so straight up and down, and you can see how. And I'm guessing that maybe those logs behind you might be Lodgepole Pines, Justin. Just
actually, these are Douglas fir, but yeah.
Oh, they're Douglas fir. Ooh, that's nicer. That's nicer.
Yeah.
Douglas fir is a nicer wood. But anyway, so they grow tall. They grow pretty, you can see how evenly they are as far as from top to bottom. It's not a big bottom here and a skinny top here. So they're really great for building log cabins. And so they're called lodgepole pines. Now, because of that, they grow very tightly together. They're terrible during a fire because they all catch fire and everything burns. But you see, this is a common scenario in a lodgepole pine forest because they get old enough and they start to tilt, and so you will see that quite often, just as far as the odds are concerned in the wilderness, as far as something causing an X or leaning or something like that. But it doesn't mean it's not the place. I'm just biology-wise trying to help you guys out.
Sure, yeah. No, I appreciate the insight. That makes a lot of sense.
And I am referencing my brain matter from 20 years ago from studying this stuff, so it's not 100% accurate.
Nothing's ever 100%, is it?
No. Gravity.
Oh god.
that's
anyway,
fair.
so keep talking though. So this is not. Justin? Are you saying this is similar but it's different?
Yeah. So what I can see in this photo, it seems pretty clear that there's a person at some point, midway through the photo there, and this person's on the DeLacy Trail. It looks a lot like the trail, and the tree that you mentioned, Candy, that's leaning over the trail, that's not terribly close to where we've found this site. This is at least 1,000 feet away. I don't know where along the trail it's been taken, but the site where we found is not that close to the trail. I don't know if that helps you or not.
Oh, let's go back to, so go ahead and stop screen share, and I'll go back to the map again, and you can kind of, or if you have the map up, do you have the map that you can pull up and kind of show us where?
Map of?
The, let's see here. I will stop your screen sharing. Aha. That's right, take that.
Screen share wars.
And my, yes. Okay, can you guys see that?
Uh-huh.
So where are you talking about on this trail as far as, so we have, I love this, treasure.
Yeah,
treasure.
it's like, that's the blaze, you get it?
I love that. I love that, it's the blaze. So tell us a little bit about, what is here as far as where you guys started and where the images that Candy was talking about.
Well, it's tough to say with certainty where Candy's images along the trail came from. I really couldn't comment exactly where, but we started actually at the picnic area, which is, you see the picnic table in the photo, and then just down and right of that, you'll see kind of a white little, that's the picnic area. So that's where we started, yeah. And so we parked there and just went across the road into the woods basically, and then just bushwhacked down to the trail, and then followed the trail down.
So you had to bushwhack to here, or did you start here and kind of do a shortcut thing?
Well, I guess it was kind of it was a bit of a shortcut, I suppose. Yeah, but we certainly bushwhacked a little ways to intersect with the trail, and then we walked south from there along the trail, just following it as usual. And then you'll notice that, about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way down, looks like a kind of a creek joins with the trail from the right. The top one actually, that one there. That's Dry Creek. Where Dry Creek intersects is basically where I think that's Dry Creek, or it might be the next one down.
This creek joins right here in this Y.
Yeah, it's either that one or it's the one below it. I don't remember which one's Dry Creek offhand. I apologize.
Okay.
But you get to a place where the trail goes into a bit of a depression, and it's a draw, geographically speaking. And
you can see the topography here.
Yeah. And at the draw, we basically, that's where we divert away from the trail and then just head across toward that treasure site that's on the map there. Yeah.
Now, how wide were the GPS coordinates as far as, I know the GPS coordinates, since they didn't have the seconds or something like that, it was a wider area to search?
Yeah, I made a comment about that earlier. So it really depends on how you want to interpret this poem. If you go to just the bottom of the poem, you've got no seconds. And so you're off by, let's see, I'm going to do a little quick math here.
Glad I'm not doing the math. It would be tragic.
You'd end up in the lake.
I would end up in a caldera somewhere.
960 feet.
960
if you don't use any seconds. If you,
all right, so that makes that search area that wide,
quite large. Yeah, quite large. And so if you do what we call the wraparound technique, and you get that extra 2, and you take that as seconds, then you're still off by 10 seconds, which would be approximately 800 feet. So there's still a problem there. Okay. And what I had posted on the forums earlier is that I think that there is a way to interpret this. So there are 2 ways to denote GPS, or rather latitude and longitude coordinates, using the degrees system. One is that you do degrees, minutes, and seconds. And the other, if you want more precision, is to do degrees and then minutes with a fraction. So if you consider the 2 to be a fraction, so in other words 42.2 minutes, then you land exactly on that spot. Because that equates to 12 seconds. Hope that made sense.
I'm like,
I suck at all that stuff. So
I was multitasking because I'm looking up DeLacy Creek in one of my Yellowstone books.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what?
I just can't wait to see what K-Pro and Cynthia are going to come up with tomorrow. Like,
are they going to do it? Yeah, when are they going to do it? Are they doing that tomorrow?
I think. I know they're going to do like a more in-depth like analysis of all this stuff. I'm just kind of touching on a few.
Cynthia's putting together a video. That's correct. Yeah,
things.
Cynthia's putting together a video.
Yeah.
What's K-Pro doing?
Helping her?
I think they're kind of working together. I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
Okay. I know Cynthia texted me and said she was going to put together a video. I want to show you guys a few pictures. So here's Yellowstone. There's Isa Lake. There's a little map for you there. And DeLacy Creek Trail, opposite the parking area. This trail leads through forest and meadow, south 3.5 miles to the shore of Shoshone Lake, connecting with trails around the lake and along Lewis Lake, channel to Lewis Lake, and the south entrance road. During most of the summer, it may be hard to keep your boots dry. Parallel deep tracks show heavy use by hikers and fishermen. Walter W. DeLacy, for whom the creek was named, was an Army captain and civil engineer who passed through this part of future park territory in 1863 with a party of prospectors. Shoshone Lake was called DeLacy Lake for a time, in honor of his discovery that it is part of the Snake River's drainage, not Madison River's, as previously believed. Oh, Susie Penhaven. Hi, girl. So let me see what it says. I have a lot of books.
I can send you the screenshots that I found because I did all that too today about DeLacy.
Yeah.
And he was the guy who made the first Yellowstone map.
So here is, so there's Shoshone Lake right here. And
Watch.
Craig Pass, undersigned Continental Divide. Let's see here. Oh, that's more about the Continental Divide. So basically, that's the info about DeLacy Creek. So if any of you heard that and see any kind of, because I know that some people are going to read that or hear that, right? And they're going to be like, oh my God, scrapbook so-and-so. So let us know. Let us know if you have. And if you're wondering what book this is, it's this book right here. If you guys want to try and find that. And that's on page 110. And it's just got information about all the trails and all that kind of stuff. The caldera, you know, Clark's Nutcrackers, Medicine Junction, all that kind of stuff. You know, little history info.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I love my reference books. Just can't get enough of them. Thought you were a scientist. Oh, yes. I think we're good. I don't think anyone else has had any questions. I wonder if you met the finder. Yes, Captain Marvel. I wonder if I... No, well, see, I mean, it really sounds like the finder was not at these things. So I'm curious to see how I agree with protecting the person who sent the emails because if you are a journalistic reporter, there is this line that you can't cross as far as when you have a source and you can't betray their confidence if they don't want you to betray it. And at the same time, you want to report the news. Like I say, with the Nixon thing, was it Deep Throat with the Nixon thing? I forget who the source was, but you know, there was this anonymous source. So you are stuck between an ethical rock and a hard place when it comes to those things about reporting the news and all that kind of stuff. So I totally respect keeping that person's info private. And again, no offense to the person who sent in the information, but whether or not that person knows the finder is what I'm questioning. Like, I wonder if he really does know the finder, the specific wording of the email and all that kind of stuff, which again, you know, I agree with not releasing. It's not something that if you're going to respect people who email you, which I do, people send me their information a lot and they say, please don't share. And I'm not going to, I mean, it's a respect thing. It's an ethical thing. And so it is difficult if you're reporting the news and still trying to keep to that kind of information. But at the same time, of course, that does leave people who have not seen the emails personally being like, well, we're like, it's like for me, I'm, that skeptical person. I want to see the emails and then I'd be like, okay, that kind of stuff. But I've also been emailed stuff that was apparently from Forrest Fenn that later on I verified that Forrest said he never sent that. So, that stuff does happen, and so you have to be a little leery. But anyway, I'm just trying to say that it's difficult when you're trying to report the news and still be respectful for people who email you and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to delving more into this. And, I know that, Mike and Kipro have some upcoming plans to really do an in-depth analysis and all this stuff. And I just hope as a community we can just keep digging in and figuring out what's whether or not this is correct, and to just try and validate things. So
I know, like you said on my last show, it's worth exploring.
It is. That's
it's
right.
Simple. It's worth exploring. If we have something that we're like, ooh, right, then it's worth exploring. You don't jump in with both feet and say, oh my God, yes, this is it, no matter what. It's like I'm dipping my toe in it. I'm like, so Justin, if you do take those hours to drive to the spot again, we want 5,000 pictures of that etching in the
5,001. Yeah.
Like a photo shoot, a model photo shoot.
The angle.
Yeah, it's an angle problem. That's really what it is. Shoot.
First, you got to call 3D Bronze and tell him that you need to borrow his chest replica.
That
and take it out there with you and position it right there.
I meant to bring a tape measure too, just for comparison, but the only thing I had was chapstick. How silly, huh?
The chapstick was cracking me up.
Anyhow,
but what was most helpful, here, I'm just going to show you guys this because this is actually extremely helpful. And let's see if I can get to it. Will you let me share without showing that terrible picture of me? No, it won't. Why? Why are you so cruel? Clicker. There should be a little arrow over here. Maybe if I zoom all the way out. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there we go. So this is actually really, if you don't have a ruler, you use your hand, and that's a great way. Then you can be like, okay, these are about, inch and a half long, and you can guesstimate that kind of stuff. So, if you don't have a ruler, chapstick or your hand, something like that, because Justin knows the size of his hand. He can measure that, right? And so then we can get an accurate measuring of these needles right here. But if you miss this, these are Lodgepole Pine needles, which, again, not surprising because Lodgepole Pines are all over Yellowstone. So I was there when Yellowstone burned. What was it, 20, 30 years ago now?
Yeah, there was some nasty fires. Oh, actually, sorry, I don't mean to interject. I do have to jump off because I got to get to dinner. But thanks for having me on. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. It was fascinating. I can't wait to see what K-Pro and Cynthia come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, have a good evening,
Very
guys.
Cool.
Yep.
Have a great evening. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
dinner.
Good night.
Good night.
And congratulations on the meteorite. Okay, so did you see that, Susie? The meteorite, how much it's worth?
Wasn't it like 7,000 to 10,000 or something crazy?
Like $9,000. $9,000.
Oh,
I know.
Wonderful, fun find.
What are you guys talking about?
I was actually just gonna pop on because Justin and I had talked about doing an unboxing of the meteorite. So he found a meteorite while he was out and about, but it's secret as far as where he was because he's gonna go back there and look for more.
Yeah, there's gonna be more.
And it's a meteorite that's like the size of my hand kind of size, and it's classic and it's beautiful. And so he did the unboxing and read the information from the people who analyzed it in New England, was it? Like a place that actually analyzes meteorites. And the estimated value was like around $9,000.
But there's got to be, go deeper. There's got to be a bigger one deeper, and boom,
I would love to know when that rock hit the earth. Because, the meteorite I found is about this big. I have a little tiny meteorite that I found. And, the question is, how long has it been sitting there?
Was it at a known a meteorite place? There's meteor.
One thing that he read, one thing that he read was it might be matched up with another one. So another one that I know.
Isn't that fascinating? I know. I love that stuff too. Just love it.
I know. If I can't believe it's remember when he talked about the diamond that he found, but he returned it because it was somebody's. And that one was it was like a huge diamond. It's like a massive diamond. And he turned it in. I'm like, Okay, that's some honesty there. I don't know.
And
I'm
look,
like, I know I would
a
have
rock
to turn it
fell
in because I
from the
couldn't live
sky.
with him. And then he
A
got
very valuable rock fell from the sky instead. You know, just karma got its way of working things out. He's gonna find, you know, if that's righteous, it's only righteous that he finds a whole meteor field, and that's just a small one.
Yeah. So that would be pretty cool, and they're pretty rare in Montana and Wyoming, I think. So yeah, and yes, Nomadic Madman, he did show it at the beginning of the program. Yeah. So anyway, this was fun. I called it Science Friday.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was cooking dinner, and it was amazing.
I gotta ask you, Susie, are you going live after this?
Well, I was thinking about it because it's like I want to continue so if this is coordinates, if there really are coordinates, I got to go back and stick to the rules, you know. So I would love to continue the conversation about I've got my rule too. And to where are the hints in the book or the clues in the book? It doesn't say our front cover, our flap right here. It says unlock the clues that are scattered amongst these pages. And so I'm not letting go of that idea. You can't tell me that they just found, you know, and then they used a scrapbook. And so they built it up a scrapbook. And I thought, well, you know, if this really is the place, there's got to be something else in the book that's going to get up there. And I have a couple ideas that I found, like I found the coordinates. It reminds me of a video that I made at one time about finding the coordinates.
You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, your audio's a little goofy again. I know. It's so frustrating.
You know,
and I'm gonna do a quick shout out real quick. So and Bobby D was gonna help me with this. So I got a very mysterious package in the mail, and it came with a cipher, and I decoded it. It was so awesome. It's my very first official solve. I solved it, right? So I will, on my next show, I'm gonna be telling the whole story of this mysterious cipher. Maybe not on the AGK one. I want to go live and do it when I can really tell the whole story and everything because it's so fun. But yeah, it was my very first cipher that I solved on my own. And but it's got a whole story associated with it. So I will be sharing that on one of my shows so that when I can tell the whole story. And then I'll be going live after AGK next Wednesday. So send me your questions at amyseeksadventure@gmail.com. for any AGK questions you want me to ask. There we go.
Okay, I'm trying my Bluetooth. Does that sound any better? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's still a little off. Let's hear. Can you pull the microphone closer?
Okay, how about if I set it right by me?
A little bit better.
Any better?
It's still a little. Yeah, it's better, but
these are $3,
I know.
$1, free from the airport, whatever. Okay,
oh,
let me
yeah.
try something else.
I always collect those when I'm like, oh, free. And when you go live, you'll be just going live without that, right?
I would be going live on my
back.
laptop. Oh, does it sound better?
It sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would be going live on my laptop, and this is my phone. And so I don't know. I'm assuming that maybe it's something to do with my phone.
Yeah, the laptop's probably better.
I don't know. Right. I don't know. Could be something to do with Zoom.
It's a nightmare every time I go live because I'll add something, right? I'm like, okay, so now I have the webcam for the white balance and this, and now I have the audio for this, but I have to wear the earplugs, and then I have this, and I'm like Jesus Christ.
Well, the only problem with going live on my laptop is that I can't show the book. I mean, it's hard I'm going like this, I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. That's why all my videos are like, this is what, so I'm going to try my best, but yeah, I might as well. I'm thinking, okay, why not open up the conversation and show what else I'm thinking about those coordinates and other numbers that I found in the poem. Like, you know, the word R. If you are brave and in the wood, the word R. If you look that up in the dictionary, one of them is a measurement that's equivalent to 119 square yards. And so 0.6, something like that. I mean, it's like 100 square yards, whatever. So maybe is that last stanza getting to the 100 square yard, is there something else in the poem? Because it's, whatever. I'm just thinking of like, we could continue the conversation without it being, without just exploring it. Why not?
Well, that's what I'm having the most fun with, is exploring it. Chasing Indy with her photographs, me with all the plant books.
I'll actually be right back. I'm trying to clean up that Finder photo real fast because it's an exact match. Just let me try and.
Do you want me
I'm
to
working
stay
with
live?
Angeline right now. She's helping me clean it up.
Do you want me to stay live while you do that?
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Should I
sign off and come back on.
I wonder.
Get some
I'll be back.
potatoes out. Okay.
Is it better with that light on or worse?
Oh, it's better. That's much better. Yeah.
Okay.
That's much better.
Okay.
Well, like I say, I hadn't planned to go live for long. We were just going to do the Meteorite thing, but I had done the research with all of the aspen leaves. So I guess it turned into a discussion, didn't it?
I know.
As it always does on my show, right?
I was going to pull out Eric Sloan's book too, because he.
Which one? I can pull that out.
Reverence
I don't.
For what?
I don't have that one.
You don't have that one?
I don't, but I watched your show where you explored it, and I'm like, wow, there's so many.
He drew all these intricate, beautiful drawings of pine needles and pine cones and identified them all. I mean, that guy was.
Yeah. I love his drawings too. I remember I had no idea that it was his drawings from when I was a kid. I've always collected old books and stuff, and so and I'm like, oh my God, that was Eric Sloan, because I never paid attention to who was drawing these things.
I know,
oh my God, that was his stuff.
He illustrated flight like that for the military pilot training manuals. For airplane, for pilots. The training
and so beautifully done.
So it's very possible that Forrest Fenn used some training materials where
had Eric Sloan stuff in it.
Had done the illustrations for the, all the stuff. It's
Isn't
possible.
That a fun thought?
Yeah.
Like
he,
All right, amazing. Everyone, don't forget to like or dislike this video. And if you really like it, go over to Susie Fenhaven and subscribe.
It's rather disappointing over there. It's a lot more
or Greg talk
over here. Stay right here. Click the button in the doobly doo.
Click the buttons. I mean, it's important. That's why I'm always saying, it's like I wouldn't have a channel at all because I wouldn't have an audience if it weren't for you guys that did this a long time ago. There would be no audience to be doing a show for. That's why, I have a reverence for the FenTubers.
Well, yeah.
You guys, you made getting through the ups and downs of going through the treasure hunt bearable, watching you guys if you wouldn't mind saying it for me, what's good in your...
Hi everybody out YouTube land. What's good today? What's good today in your world? What's good today in mine is I get to treasure hunt.
That made me so happy. It was those things really just made it, you guys made it doable. And then after the treasure was found, you guys kept going, and I'm like, oh, thank God. I couldn't get through this if everyone just stopped broadcasting. And if you guys don't know, Susie's video is actually the first one I saw when I found out the chest was found. And she had never shown it.
And never
before.
said it. I just made a video. I'm like,
Yeah, but she had never shown her face before, and all of a sudden her face is on there. I'm like, oh my god, it's her face. And
well,
she's
isn't
saying,
it very apropos? It's like when it turned color in The Wizard of Oz.
it was, yes. And I'm like, holy cow. And she's just on there saying, I just can't wait. I can't wait, Forrest. I can't wait. And I'm like, she can't wait for what? And then I saw the next video, and the next video said treasure found. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Just like, and my life ended.
No, still mourning it. I was crying in the shower today, thinking about Forrest Fenn.
Today? Oh,
today.
no.
Today it still comes in waves, because I started thinking about, okay, so if this is really the information, if this is all real and they're not being trolled by some, this isn't some big troll.
Is it real?
Or stunt to find, to give us all a sense of closure, but it's not, or I don't know. It just is.
Well,
okay, so
my best,
real,
like, I don't think they're being trolled. I think someone honestly believes what they sent them. I'm still on the fence about it. I don't believe it.
right.
But I don't
it's
not
like,
believe
okay,
it. It's
so
just on the shelf. Yeah. And
I
like
started
Justin
playing
says,
the what ifs, and it's not like, I'm not like opposed or whatever you want to call it to the idea of having it be math and numbers that are found in the book. Okay, I'm not against that idea. This could be really it. So it's like, okay.
I know, since we don't know.
Let's break this down and use common sense about this, and let's see, because this is like jumping to the end story. There's a lot of story in between that. I mean, why the whole book, and why does it say unlock the clues scattered amongst these pages? The clues amongst these pages, it doesn't say use only the poem, and there's going to be
the only way it would work really to go with everything is that he did both, right? You could find it this way or you could find it this way. And for someone for the hard part I have is and again, I know that, like, so normally I don't like to give my opinion because I'm a YouTuber now, and it's like, oh, I take Amy's side, or I take K-Pro's side, or I take Cynthia's side, or I take Susie's side. These aren't sides, these are discussions.
It's discussions, exactly.
Yeah, which I love that people are doing so well. I've actually been very proud of people doing this in a really good way, because it's difficult, because it's a passionate subject. But I have issues with him having put something in there that could have been found quickly. When he really did imagine this as lasting 100 to 1,000 years. And,
he said you were going to walk right to it. This isn't walking right to it.
Right.
This isn't, you're going to go in confidence and walk right to it, and you could go there any time of year. Like, I mean, it breaks a lot of his rules that he set forth for us. Let's
see, Derek White, Amy Seeks, can the blaze be destroyed?
Oh,
yes, but not feasible. I can't remember the exact quote. It's so funny. I used to have them all in my mind. Doesn't matter if you have the correct solve. It only matters if they think you do. Oh, and I have to have a shout out. There's a shout out for someone who is just so sweet. It's like a lot of you have done some amazingly sweet things, and I keep crying every time you do it. Like Susie, and Susie sent me like a card, and I cried. and the bronze, and this. Oh my Lord! See.
Your frog.
Not just this, but a frog.
I had frogs showed up in my dreams last night, and I think it was from listening to frog. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah.
See, that's it. So, to everyone who's been so incredibly kind, and like I say, I will be sharing the mysterious cipher code I was sent on the show. It was so fun to solve something. Oh my God, it was so fun. So I will be sharing it, but I want to share it when, there's only 48 people watching now. So I do want to share it when the most people are watching because of its provenance. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But there was also another book that someone sent me, and I think I emailed the right address, and to them too. It's like, oh my God, thank you. So I just tangented off and lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Redirect me, Susie.
Okay,
Redirect
so
me.
I'm going. Okay, should we go back into
Yes,
so
yes.
on when you go on Google and just or Wikipedia, Yellowstone National Park, and click on the Wikipedia link for Yellowstone National Park, which I have right here. Actually, I can flip my camera. I think I can flip my camera, can't I? Let's see.
I wish I could tell you for
How
sure,
about if
yes
I
or
just
no.
go like this?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, so can you see right here what my finger if I'm pointing?
We see the finger, but it's a little tiny, so it's a little hard to see the actual script.
Okay, well,
But you can read it to us.
it just says coordinates, and it gives 44 degrees 36 minutes north. It only gives
coordinates
the
for Yellowstone.
Yes, but it only gives it gives 44 degrees 36 minutes north by 110 degrees 30 minutes west. It only gives
a little lat long thing.
Yeah, where usually it goes minute or degrees, minutes, seconds. This is just degrees and minutes, so it gives just the area, right? So when I looked at that, I thought, okay. When I look at page 44 in the Thrill of the Chase, it's the picture of his this picture, which is page 44, and then the chapter in love with
Yellowstone. Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay. It's like, okay, so this is page 44, but he doesn't have this page number. There's not a font on it, but it is page 44. And if you look at the stamp, it has 3 June. Well, 3 June is the 6th month. So there's 36 in the circle, in the middle of the stamp, it's 36. So we've got 44, 36.
I see.
And it's 44, 36 on
so like maybe a
coordinates.
Nudge.
And so I'm like, okay, follow along with that then. With that thought, go to page 110, because the other set of coordinates are 110 degrees with 30, and that brings us to
110's
it's the teachers,
right, teachers with ropes
page of the teachers with ropes.
Yes.
And what's interesting about page 110 is I'm like, well, where's the number 30 then? Where would be the number 30? Because it doesn't have a a postage mark. It says teachers loved us so they could take an hour break. So if you break an hour, you get 30 minutes.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So you're on page 110 and you got 30 minutes.
Right.
And so there I can see the second set of coordinates on that page. And yet I'm just going with this, trying to pull out, like, what could this be? I could just pull out things now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And then it goes further down the same chapter. It says, he's talking about a centipede, right? A giant centipede he mentions twice. A centipede is 100 legs.
Yes.
Or so.
Well, yeah, they don't actually have 100 legs, but
Right, but a centipede
is
is
100.
And
Yes.
so it's like, is that 100 feet? If there's 100 legs, are there 100 feet? Is it 200 feet? If they're talking about a centipede of kids who each have 2 feet,
Yes.
So,
yes.
Well, there's a distance of, and then it says, in that same paragraph on that same page, it says the next step, and that makes me go back and think of page 15, the big magic, or, the big, everyone knows page 15 with the asterisk. And it says,
the asterisk, yes.
It says first few steps is how it ends, and then there's the asterisk. And if you go back to, and then it says next step on page on page 110. Let me go back there. Page 110.
Entertain the troops for just a second. I'll be right back.
It says the next step, and then in that same paragraph, he mentions 4 steps. So is there 4 steps involved in this page, or in this somehow this connection? And it also has the word alpha, and alpha is the beginning, so did Forrest direct us back to, is this the beginning of alpha teacher would turn around? So take about 4 steps, begin, and turn around. And then if you keep reading, it goes to page 111, and that's where you have the red text that shows up, the do not touch. So is that some indication of the like where you are in the area, or where you are in the poem? There's some sort of restriction, I don't know, but it's fun to talk about, isn't it? And I'm not even looking at the chat. This is just me rambling. Yes, Amy.
Did you give away your whole solve again? Dang it.
No, I just make this stuff up on the fly. There's yeah, that was my, yeah.
All right, I'll switch back to gallery view. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. That's right. So I wanted to say thank you to someone. So I've had a lot of people who are really kind as far as the video I put out with my work on it, on trying to solve this thing. And this is what somebody said. And I just want to showcase the people who are really kind and really sweet, because it's easy to talk about the negative.
It is. It's so easy to go low, it is.
It's hard. So this is my best advice for anyone who wants to respond to someone on social media in an angry way. Instead of, if you're upset that somebody's beating up on someone or something like that, instead of responding to them and saying, why are you being so mean? Instead, go to that person's channel and give them a thumbs up or a comment, right? Do something good for the person you're trying to defend, as opposed to engaging someone on social media, because we know that social media gets elevated real fast to hate, and it doesn't solve anything. If it fixed things, that'd be one thing. If it fixed the problem, then I'd be like, yeah, engage. But it doesn't fix the problem. So instead, take that energy and go to somebody's channel and give them a thumbs up, or put a comment in saying, I love your shows, or something like that. So that's my advice. Okay. I get all emotional when I do that, because...
Well, it's easy to get emotional, because there is so much emotional charge in this stuff, and it's so easy to catch somebody at the wrong moment. And sometimes the anger is coming out when it has nothing really to do with you. It's just there's no place else to put it, and so it comes out at you just because you were convenient. You're right there at the time, and who knows what else is going on in these people, or or
if they're having an awful time,
I do it all the time, and then just think, and then I think, it's a struggle.
Oh, I've done it too. I get an
opinion, or
I have definitely commented on something, and then somebody responds like, "What the hell?" Right? And I'm like, "Uh-oh, I need to reread what I wrote. It's obviously coming off wrong." I'm like, "Shoot!" Right? And I'm like, and I'll just delete the comment, because I'm like, "Shoot, this is not translating how I wanted to translate."
This information, or I'm prone to blunt and not really.
Right, because you're in the sciencey mode, right? It's just I'm just feeling this. I'm going to say this. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I do that.
And that's why. Yeah.
And then
okay. So this is what somebody wrote, and it said, it was on my work on the video, and they said, keep all your notes. They'll give you meaning as to what Forrest has created. You are brilliant and will find joy in all that you've worked on. It's not worthless information. Just put it away for a season, but don't destroy. Right? And I'm just like, the sweetest words of encouragement. And, how can you not just be like, thank you so much for wanting to help me, obviously through some sad times.
Right. It is. It's a mourning. We're all grieving. It's a grief process, and it's coming to terms with not only losing our dream, our treasure
dreams, our hopes, our thoughts, our plans,
our future.
our future.
Okay, so we lost that and we lost our hero. It's a double whammy, and just making me think that, Forrest isn't here to clear this up anymore. That's what made me start crying in the shower today, was thinking about, trying to think about, okay, go back to the book and start seeing if you can see how they worked on this and how maybe there's a different approach that brings you to the exact spot instead of being so random, and start thinking about it. And then I'm just like, oh, Forrest isn't here anymore to tell us that, to pull the plug on the misinformation, or
he was going to do another
and make us all feel better with a scrapbook.
He was going to do another 6 questions with Jenny Kyle. He was going to do, I think K-Pro said he was going to do an interview with him. So we had like 6 questions from Jenny Kyle. We had K-Pro's interview that was coming. There was more information that was coming.
Didn't Cynthia say? Or no, she did get to meet with him at the end of August, before the finale, I think.
I'm bad at keeping track of that. Is that when
I don't
she
know,
talked about
but
the exchange of the chest? Is that the timing of that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nomadic Mammon. I like the way you think. You probably are good at thinking. That's Nomadic Madman. I get out all my notes. I can do this. Focus. I do like thinking, but mainly because I'm not good at it. When you're not good at something, but you really enjoy it, so you work really hard at it. That's kind of like how I am with analytical thinking and stuff. I'm kind of analytical, but I'm not, I envy people who are MIT smart. Oh my God. Right. I was like, dang, I wish that were me. But the fact that it's not me makes me try harder. Right. So like that Michael Jordan comparison, where Michael Jordan, was not that good at basketball at first, right? So he was like, I want to do this, and he just worked his ass off. And so that's kind of how I am at things that I'm not good at when I want to be. I'm like, ooh, this is something I really enjoy, so I'm going to have to work 10 times harder to be good at it. Ergo, all the reference books and
exactly
all that kind of
curious
stuff.
minds want to know.
Curious minds. I'm lucky enough. I'm going to be getting a violin from a friend of mine. And I've always wanted to play, right? And so I'm like, okay, so I've got till the day I die to practice. Eventually, I'm sure I can figure it out.
That's wonderful. I love the violin.
See, it's always been my favorite instrument. So I figure I'd give it a shot. That and juggling. Those are going to be my mental exercise things. Apart from the analysis of the plants that we did earlier.
I'm still working on my future plans because it all was all about Forest Fence treasure.
That's the hard part. So many of us, that was our future, was the Forest Fence treasure. That was our future. Our present and our future was the Forest Fence treasure.
It was
when
where
that was removed. It's like, now what do I do?
Now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Now
and
what?
Here we are still talking about it. Now what?
Well, it's because we still didn't get, it's got to be...
no freaking closure yet.
For me, it's got to be that click, click. It's got to have something to shut it off. It's got to be a feel resolved. And I have yet to feel that resolution. And that's great for... those guys that got to go and find this spot and find this and to find that resolution that they need.
It made me so happy when Cynthia texted and said, I've slept the best that I've slept in all these years. And that's why I have a hard time having an opinion about what I feel about it, because I don't want that to affect anybody who is feeling closure from this.
So even if it's wrong, is it wrong that she found that?
Exactly,
no matter what, even if that is not the...
Yeah,
either it doesn't matter at this point,
Right,
that's the way I see it for her, it's like, if she did that on that closure step, this is it, I'm done, I can walk away and it's done.
Yeah.
Then fine, and she got to go to the fishing bridge and have that piece too of it, and so there's a lot of steps that she, but being in it like she was, it did take a lot of unraveling, I bet, for her to be able to get to the point she's at. And, you know, that's great.
Yeah, and obviously we do know that the finder that we're assuming is the finder who wrote the article, we're assuming that, like he said, we will know more information, just not that information, right? But
That's
the fact
right.
that more information is coming out is so exciting. It's like, okay, we will get more information. If he could just say in the next few months or the next few weeks, if he could just give us a time frame next time so we know that it's not like in the next year, like how long are we holding our breath for?
Even if he said, guess what? I'm making a movie, and so it's gonna be 6 months to release or something like that. What?
Alan K just says Dale just dropped scrapbook 254, post dated April 27th, 2020.
What? Click.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Okay. Holy crap. Okay, all right. I'm pulling it up. Sorry. Give me a second, guys.
I know. It's like, how do I?
Holy
so
diggity,
silly when it comes
doodles.
to, here we go.
Okay. Thanks, Alan. So a new scrapbook? Holy shnikey doodles. 254. Let's see. 254, there it is. Holy shnikey doodles. Oh, it's by Dale, though. Okay, it's by Dale.
Well, I know, but he's got inside information always.
I don't know. Knowing Dale, it's like, meh. No, and no offense to Dale, it's just that.
And look, it's dated April 27th, 2020. And so is there something foresty in here? I mean, did Forrest?
All right, we'll go ahead and read it here.
There is more explanation in the film's description on the video page. What
For
film?
20 years, the military played a significant role in Forrest and Peggy's life. The relevance did not end when Forrest retired from the Air Force in 1970. He was an accomplished combat pilot, and of that he was proud. He was also a humanitarian, caring deeply about the lives of humans. He was careful in trying to balance, on one hand, the killing and on one hand, the killing and destruction born in his role as a combat pilot, against the sage and human desire to honor and assist those around him. In many ways, he was still a pilot long after he gave up flying. In the way that mentors always assist and push others to be as good as humanly possible. I'd like you to look at a piece of film that Forrest and I sat down and watched in early 2014. This is 24 minutes of gun camera film from Forrest's mission in Vietnam. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Listen to Forrest's voice. I believe he was proud of his skillful ability to destroy enemy targets and at the same time regretful of the inevitable pain and death to civilians that came with his best efforts. Forrest was both a realist and a humanitarian. When watching the evening news with him, I would often hear him whisper, "Why can't we all just get along?" There is more explanation in the film's description on the video page. Dang. So one time when I was meeting with Forrest, so I've been to Vietnam and a few times now and traveled around the country a bit. And one thing I wanted to share with Forrest one time when I was at his house was how resilient they were, how there was this new generation of kids who, it's adorable. This new generation of kids comes up to you and they're probably, in their teens, later teens, and they're interviewing you for class. They're like, "Are you American?" And so they're like, "We're practicing our English," right? And they're talking to you and they're filming you. It's like, "May we ask you some questions?" And it's like, for the first time, Vietnam had a generation of children who didn't experience war. And it was just the most beautiful thing. And so I wanted to share that with Forrest. I wanted to say, look at what Vietnam has become. Look at this, and his head went down. Shit. And his head went down, and he didn't want to talk about it because basically he was saying how, he's like, I killed those people, And he's like, I can't. It was basically saying, it was like he couldn't talk about it and he could never resolve it, right? It was like, this is not something I can ever be okay with in my life. That was my interpretation of the fact that it didn't matter if there was a generation doing better, because he couldn't take back what he did. And so that was, that was a hard thing to see in his face. The fact that he was resolute to the fact that there was nothing he could do to not have done what he did. And therefore talking about it didn't matter because he couldn't take back what he did. So this video, I hope, I'm guessing a lot of you are watching this video right now. So to see him say, Forrest was both a realist and a humanitarian. When watching the evening news, why can't we all just get along? He had to experience, he had to face the fact that he did that. And you can't not have done that, That's why it's so important for big decisions that you just can't take them lightly, because you can't not have done that, right? And so I just remember I thought I had hoped that telling him those things would, make him feel like it's okay, it's war, this happens. But his face was, it was just more resolute. Like it was something like, you have to understand, I did those things. So
it wasn't his idea, how to come to terms with that is.
It was, coming to terms with the fact that he did what he was told to do
this is what you got to do.
Right.
This is the whole.
What he thought was right. And he did work hard on targeting, as he went in low to target as quick, not just big old bomb, as much as he could. He wanted to target the enemy. But that's clear in the story where he talks about how he just started bawling in his mask because he went in and it was a funeral. You realize that the black and white, right and wrong, is just gone. It's just gone. There's no more black and white, right and wrong stuff. It's like crap, and I'm in this deep. And anyway, so I hope you're watching. I'm not going to play the video just because I don't have Dale's permission to. But I can't wait to. Amy 6, your message on his behalf, helping to resolve it. Thank you, and him. It's hard not to get emotional when you saw the look in his face of how, there was no comfort. There was no comfort to what I was saying about Vietnam being a thriving place. There was no comfort to it. It was something that he obviously learned to live with. So, okay, that got serious fast.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Where's Dale,
Candy, where did you go with your information?
But Dale has given us a message from Forrest in his own voice, and it's going to be about peace, or being kind to people.
Yeah, if you guys have watched the video already, let us know what it's like.
Hi, Gidelkin. Hi, Alan K. Hi, Jeep Girl Joey. Hi, Bob.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at this
Gidelkin has a good point. You never ask a vet what war was like. Never. Because there's no answer.
Horrible is the answer to that question.
Yeah, the change of the Vietnam War versus the other, the glory of fighting the Nazis versus like the Vietnam War was...
The Vietnam War was a conflict. They didn't even give it credit. All that was a conflict for so long. It wasn't even credited as a real war. As Forrest is out there, living with the ghosts.
And he did, everything he did was up here, and that's the other thing I talked to him about.
Right. It
was the difference between
removed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The difference between being a jet fighter and you're
and
not
now,
just far up, but fast, right?
Now
And so-
we're taken over by drones. I mean, now it's going to be this, they're killing people from sitting over, you know, it's,
Yeah. And that the whole, you know, so I mean, even with the fen hunt over, I think it's clear that the message of all that stuff, why can't we all just get along, all that kind of stuff, you know, is going to resonate. It's always resonated, but genetically, we did not become the dominant species because we were peace and love. We just didn't. The only way to overcome hate and anger is to actually get through it, because when you feel hate and anger, you want to act on it. And if you act on it, then congratulations, you're evolutionarily doing what you were programmed to do. It's hard to use your brain to not, and like on social media, even easier. It's just hate is easy, and it feels good when you're doing it. It's like, yeah, take that. and caring, love, understanding, empathy, and taking one on the chin, right? Turning a cheek. That's hard because your ego says no. Your ego's like,
and it's fear. A lot of it's fear driven, you know, it's fear. And
people are so easily manipulated by fear.
And right
crazy.
now, everything is so extra scary. Everybody is so extra sensitive. It's just because of we're living in a pandemic, a 100-year. I mean, this is like something that I never considered would ever happen in my lifetime. You know, that I never thought I would see, or a lot of us, I don't think would. No way to see this, and so it's just
being in molecular biology. I actually was surprised it didn't happen earlier. There's
you got inside information on that.
Oh my God, I have insider information. When it, like I've told a lot of, so when it started happening in China, I actually told my whole family. I said, this is most likely going to be very bad. If a communist country cannot contain this, what do you think the rest of the world's going to do, right? So, and so I said, you know, I'm like, you know, watch your stocks, watch your money. There could be a quick fall. Stock up on certain medicines just in case. You know, just the basics of preparing just in case. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know,
toilet paper. Who knew? You know,
toilet paper.
The great toilet paper shortage, you know.
Yeah. My hope is just that it doesn't. So this is like a virus that mutates pretty fast. It's in the, you know, it's like it's a coronavirus, and those viruses, they mutate really fast. And so my biggest fear is that it's going to mutate into something that all of a sudden becomes more deadly, kind of like the Spanish flu did. So I'm just hoping it stays. So far, it hasn't yet. So I have my fingers crossed that it's going to stay at this level, and that, you know, it'll be better. But anyway, back to Forrest. My apologies. Oh wait, where is Mike? Coronavirus. Mike, where are you with your soundboard?
It's all because coronavirus.
Coronavirus. I don't even know what that was from, and I can't imagine it's politically correct in any way.
It's Cardi B. Cardi B.
Oh, it's Cardi B. I love her. God,
she's going up. Oh, coronavirus.
All right, if anyone watches this video, and let's see here, I'm going to click on it, but I'm not going to, we'll just pause it. There we go. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That would be a great painting. What is that?
This is the Vietnam forest, or Laos, I guess. It depends on where he was.
Wow.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. There, I'll just leave it at that so that I'm not, you know, is this posted by Dale? Oh, it says it's unlisted. Thrill of the Chase. Okay. I am subscribed, Dale. So so you see right here, go to Thrill of the Chase and subscribe. Dale has put out a lot of videos about Forrest. I quote unquote helped with a series of them. I wasn't helpful at all. But it was really neat to be at Forrest's house when Dale was filming and asking questions. I was a production assistant basically. And it, you know, it was just, Dale captured so much video of Forrest not talking about the treasure. You know, that's priceless right now. Getting to know the man. And that's the other thing I like to say is I got to know Forrest well enough to know that he was human, right? There's no part of me that has him on a pedestal. I don't have him as a hero. I have him as a human, you know, and he was human like the rest of us. Fuck. I mean, sorry. And he tried to live up to the pedestal. He knew people had him on a pedestal, right? What do you do when people do that? Do you tell them, no, you live up to it and you say, I'm going to do my best to not disappoint those people. But he was human. He was flawed. And I think that's just so important to realize when, like, I had him on a pedestal before I met him. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to meet at Collected Works. Oh my God, I get to meet Forrest, you know? Because, like, he met hundreds of searchers at Collected Works, right? That's where he'd go. And I did. I had him on this pedestal, and I got to know him, and I'm like, hi, human. You're another human like me. You're flawed. You're trying to figure things out. You did amazing things, but you were human the whole time, right? You were an eclectic person. You did things by your own ways. So I just think that's important for anyone to realize about anybody who is famous. Anybody. Pedestals are fine, but they're human. They're human. And if you put someone on a pedestal, you will inevitably you'll be disappointed in something. You know? So be careful who you put on a pedestal. I've had a few very sweet people say that to me, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh man, that is a bad decision. My best response is that I'm afraid of heights, so please no pedestals, right? You know, but it happens when you admire someone for their best traits. You know what I mean? You see their best traits and you're like, oh my God, look at what this person did. Oh my God, and you put them on that pedestal. And I don't think Forrest minded all that much sometimes. I think he enjoyed it, but don't forget he was human. You know, don't forget he had the same struggles going on emotionally, mentally, insecurities, you know, all of that stuff. Yeah. Sorry. I just tend to wax on,
and
don't I?
it's like he's. I know. He was invincible to me. Like I thought he was gonna weigh. I thought he was gonna hit 100 for sure. Like I didn't even.
He looked
like
so
I
good.
didn't even consider it. Like I didn't consider him going so soon. That wasn't an option.
Yeah.
That wasn't an option. Dang it. That wasn't an option.
No,
And
and
so I'm
especially
still
not.
coming to terms with that was an option. You know, it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
I know, and I still like think, you know, wouldn't it be? I still like to keep him alive in my head. I mean, like
Cynthia and I do. Cynthia and
I come
just-
up with ways
he's
and
on the
think,
other end of the
what if-
email still.
What if he? Because we don't know. What if he was involved with the CIA and he's got to sneak off somewhere and.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with floating down the river denial for a little while. I do that
That's
often.
where I'm going. I like to make up stories like that. Like, ooh, now he got, you know, he's in the
There's
witness
the
protection
pyramids.
program for the rest, because now his treasure's found and now he's out of all that. Now they got him out of it, but he's still home with Pinky, and we just all got the story.
Because
Or
I can
someone, or he's
says
just, you know,
the last two pages of My War for Me, in my opinion, sums up how he really was. Humble. And I think when we go back to this, let's see here. Go back. A realist and a humanitarian. I think that's an excellent sum up of that kind of, you know, what he, I mean, like, as he got older, there was no question. He was like, you know, this is getting serious. So yeah, I hope you guys subscribe to Dale. So this is, I'm pretty sure, the thrill of the chase is Dale. Oops, dang it! Stop! Ah! Okay, there we go. It's gone. Well, I don't, like I say, it's not my place to play that. Ah! Stop it! Sorry, Dale.
It's for educational purposes, so you can play clip it.
Oh, that's like when you did like your books, right? You read your books.
Right. Well,
Jeep
yeah,
Girl
there's
Jody?
there's
Jeep Girl
loopholes.
Jody says that Forrest cursed at her once.
What'd you do to him?
Tell us that story.
What's the matter? What'd you do to get him to curse at you?
I'll text Candy and see if she's coming back.
Yeah,
Wait,
let's see
here's
the picture.
There we go. Oh, here we go. What's this? Ah, yes. Okay. Sorry, that is. I got a cryptic text from the cryptic person who sent me the cryptic cipher.
Secret sources.
And it's fun. But this person I may be interviewing at some point for a treasure hunt they might be doing.
Awesome.
All right. I'll ask her real quick. Are you coming back? Because obviously I was waiting for her to come back.
Yeah, she's working on a Photoshop where it matches up. Like we're doing the wood analysis, like Sitting Bull's peace pipe. Forrest would be proud of us doing wood analysis, lining things up.
Oh man, I can't imagine he's not just grinning from ear to ear, you know, with his non-toothy smile. Okay, I asked her. I was going to do treasure hunting updates too at some point. What's this? SMS 1949. If there was a way I could contact you without listeners, I have information you might like to have. It is about Forrest and a meeting I had with him in December 2018. Proof, a witness. Well, SMS 1949, my email is amyseeksadventure@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat. I think I'm putting it in the chat at Gmail. It's common knowledge, my email. There we go. Nomadic Madman, contact Amy Seeks and CC me. Yeah, I don't like insider information so much, so, but, you know, I'm always open to I'm always open to things. Jeep Girl Jody, because I haven't written any books and I make excuses, he said, damn it. So Jeep Girl Jody, I'm assuming you were going to write a book, but then just kept not, and Forrest was like, damn it, write the book. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, Susie, can you see the chat? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Susie can see the chat too if you have questions for her. I'm going to have to change the title of this from Science Friday. So is there anyone in the chat who missed the analysis of the plants from earlier? If you did, we can go over that again. But basically, we've been...
What I really like about what evidence we can analyze is the photo from the real finder, the ones that were published first on Dale's site with Forrest when he announced it, those original photos. Because we know the size of the coins, and we had the picture open, and then so we can have a size perspective, and we can actually measure the length of those pine needles to know exactly what kind of and compare the length of those pine needles to the length of the pine needles that pictures from Justin, and there's more fun to play around, there's more things we do have evidence, we do have evidence of the scene, and we do have information that there still can be sorted, you know?
Let's see here. She says, I don't know. Okay, so she says she's still matching the photos. I said, should we stay live and wait? And she says, I don't know.
Oh, maybe now that maybe she's not getting them to line up just right, or, you know, maybe there's a.
So I have to say, you know, it was close enough. The images were close enough. And I guess I should screen share those so people know what the heck we're talking about here, huh?
And I was just listening to you guys. I really didn't get to see earlier what was going on.
So there's this deep marking here in the wood here. And there's a similar deep marking in the wood. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a similar deep marking in the wood. Let's see if I can go. I've been having trouble.
With the picture with the actual chest in it.
Yeah.
But that's like a natural, or, okay.
I'll try and find.
It's like a natural crack. It's like a crack in the, I see. Okay, yep.
Okay, is it this one? I think it's, sorry. And then there's the curious, well here, I'll bring this up just because the image is here right now. So this is one that I'm a little perplexed by. So we clearly see the dragon coat bracelet here. I think we can all agree with that. And the plastic.
Oh, right.
Right? So we see it. It's not in a bag. Right? It's not in a bag. This is the only discrepancy that I really find interesting. We also see it here.
Yeah, because we can tell it got, you know, it was rusted through, or, you know, the bag deteriorated because of the rusty scissors, the picture that they presented us. But right there.
Well, here is, oh, come on.
Yeah, because you can see like the rubies and the gems or whatever through that plastic bag. So it's not like
right. It wasn't in the bag. Why isn't it doing this? Okay, sorry. I'm gonna stop share and I'll try it again.
I always have my. You need to be close because I can't see well.
Let's see if it lets. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to let me do. Go out. Go back in. There it is. Okay. So this is the notch we're talking about. But I want to go to the dragon coat bracelet. So clearly here the dragon coat bracelet is not in a bag. And then no, I'll have to go back. And then we have this little baggie here that the dragon coat bracelet was apparently in. Right here. So
yeah, with the scissors.
Yeah, so in the Ziploc bag, it clearly wasn't in a bag. But in this picture, the dragon coat bracelet is in a bag.
And obviously, the scissors was sitting on that bag. There was no plastic around that. So, you know, it was direct contact because it.
So you're guessing the rust here came from these here.
Yes, like it leached from the scissors onto that little pouch. So in my opinion, that seems pretty. Because look at even the scissor has a chunk of the bag on it. If you know.
You mean this? I think this is just rust.
But see the there, right there. Between the scissors, you know, between where you put your fingers, that looks like a chunk of the bag that's stuck to the scissors that came right off the corner of the pouch.
You think like maybe it stuck to it like from here?
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So that's a curiosity for me that is something I actually do find very curious.
Because
if there is only one dragon coat bracelet, it's clearly in a bag right here, and it clearly wasn't
in the picture of the find.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. Really interesting. Why? Okay, so it's like
if this is the dragon coat bracelet,
because it seems like
if there was something else in there.
It seems like this picture would have been taken first, you know, before
of
the one
course.
sitting on the table. So what if we're not looking at the sequence of events, like that it's sitting on a white towel, that picture with the rusty scissors.
Where do you
So what
think
if they
the
went back to their
scissors?
hotel? What if they went back to their hotel room? The finder went back to their hotel room, took the pictures, and then went, I gotta go take more pictures back where it is now that I'm done panicking. What if he then packed up the chest again, took it back to the place to get more photographs, like, and then put it in the baggie, because the pouch thing fell apart. You know, maybe the pouch thing fell apart when he was messing with it at his hotel room, you know?
Hmm.
And then
I don't
reassembled
know.
the.
He says he took this picture after it was removed from the Nook. You know, he says it's right after. I mean, if we take him for his word, right? And I really want to.
Yeah, we have no other word, and this has got to be, you know, this is what.
And so one of my questions is, if the scissors were that badly rusted, which they were, we obviously see where the key was laying, but where would the scissors have been? So if the scissors had rusted
maybe underneath at the
they would have
bottom.
had to have been, right?
Maybe there's that plastic bag just laying on top of the dragon bracelet in that inside the pouch, perhaps, and the pouch is underneath.
Still considered a plant. Somebody's asking about the plant analysis. So, so we took a look at the different pine needles. So in Yellowstone Park, there are a plethora of lodgepole pine. That's part of the reason why when it burned 20 years ago or so, it burned bad. Lodgepole pines cluster closely together, and when they burn, it's hardcore burn. Which is why Yellowstone was such a bad fire. They had suppressed fires for so long. Let's see if I can start scrolling through what I was talking about. So, Justin, let's see here. So, you see right here, a lodgepole pine has 2 needles in its cluster, like this. Now, it's harder to tell in the other places, and granted, maybe this lost a needle somewhere along the way. But if you do analyze these, it does appear that many of them have that 2-needle cluster, and that's a lodgepole pine. But that doesn't really help narrow things down. Lodgepole pines are all over the Rocky Mountains. I have them all over my yard. So, but it does at least say, oh yeah, this does lean towards it being lodgepole pines in the area. Now, for the location, oh, here we go. There it is. So this is Justin's hand, and these are the needles that they found in their area that they were exploring to see if it might be the actual location of where the chest might have been. And we have this 2-needle setup for a lodgepole pine and the same size. Now, one thing that you find in these other photographs, and this is really difficult. I wonder if I can get an image that is more enhanced. There it is there. So right here is a potential leaf, and I'll show you a potential aspen leaf, this tiny one right here. But a lot of this evidence is so difficult to really be anything but circumstantial. So here we have a leaf that I'm leaning towards heavily it being an aspen leaf. Now, there were no deciduous trees in the search area that they searched, Cynthia and Capro and Justin. So this is the only, but it's one single leaf, right? So the evidence it's not hardcore evidence one way or the other. It's just, evidence that potentially goes here or there. So we have lodgepole pines, and then we have this one deciduous leaf. So if this is an aspen leaf, then, it's more towards the location being less likely that they found. But it's one single leaf, and aspen leaves can blow for a long distance, right? So is it possible that the area that they have is correct, and this little aspen leaf just blew in from a long ways away? Yes, definitely. So it's, it's not definitive, but but it does, you know, it's like, okay, well, maybe that isn't the spot. We've got this little leaf here, but, you know, like I say, it's pretty difficult to tell. The Lodgepole Pines agree with both. And then Candy was working on, and let's see if I can bring up hers. Candy was working on a log. Here's Candy's image. Okay, so you see this deep carving here. So she was trying to compare this. So this is a picture that was taken, I believe, by Justin in their search area that they think might, excuse me, might be the correct solve. Ah, that's better. And so she was analyzing this, and that's what she's doing right now. And let's bring these back up again. And we'll go to... Oh, and no, these leaves are another thing that... Anyway, those leaves are not...
Are those
okay,
Justin?
Here we go. So if you see here,
Okay.
we have this deep thing right here too. And I actually probably have a better, and then we have this one here. So Candy was trying to compare these markings to those previous markings in the other log that Justin took pictures of. And they were so, they're intriguing in the sense it's like, oh, but their orientation, unfortunately, so here we have it here. Their orientation, unfortunately, is such that it's pretty difficult to manipulate them and be like, yes, definitely, or no, definitely. So you see this deep thing here. And this is the picture, of course, by the finder. And this one here, right? And then we go back to the image that Justin took. And here's the image that Justin took. So you see we have, again, the deep scarring, fracturing of the wood here. So that's what Candy's trying to work on, to see if she can manipulate it to see if we have a match or not have a match. And then Justin was thinking in their search area, so as far as the deciduous leaf was concerned, Justin was thinking that potentially that little deciduous leaf wasn't an aspen, and instead was, because this is their area that they were searching. There we go. There's chapstick, and Justin was thinking that maybe one of these leaves, which I'm pretty sure is a wild strawberry leaf, might be that deciduous leaf in the image that the finder took. But after more analysis, I'm gonna, you know, I'm leaning kind of heavily towards the leaf actually being an aspen leaf. And so I actually went out in my yard, you know, collecting the little aspen leaves that I have, you know, just as far as...
Looks just like it.
The potentials for the size and all that stuff that was found.
And the strawberry leaf they look like they're variegated on the edges, and aspen leaves are smooth, right?
Well, they have a little bit of the serrated edges, but not.
Oh yeah.
Not.
Serrated.
Yes. Yeah. No, variegated, serrated. I know. I do that same thing with
variegated
sciencey terms.
Right. That means the stripes and not right.
Exactly. Yes. So if we go back to this, so you see, there's the leaves he was talking about, and he was kind of leaning more towards it being, not being, you know, the same leaf. But I'll go back to show you. So leaves of 3. So here are strawberry leaves, wild strawberry leaves in fall, pictures taken by other people, and you can see how similar they are. And then we have the leaves of 3 that are the poison ivy, which clearly they're not because they don't have that serrated edge. So it's highly probable, I would guess at this point, that those leaves that they found at their search site are wild strawberry leaves. So if indeed the chest, and again I'll screen share here, if indeed the chest does have a deciduous leaf in it, oh come on, let me change. All right, let me try a different one. I hate my clicker. Let's see, maybe go back to here. There we go. So if indeed there is a deciduous leaf in the picture that the finder took that was, removed recently from the nook, if that is indeed a deciduous leaf and there were no deciduous trees in the area they were searching, then we have to ask, how did it get there if it is the same spot? Now, like I say, aspen leaves can blow in from quite a distance. So with just this single leaf in here and not like a flood, like if this were covered with aspen leaves, then I'd be like, there's an aspen tree real close by, but we only have this one. So we continue to be left in limbo land as far as
we don't have much of a view around that chest.
Right.
It's a pretty targeted
tight
photo.
And let's see, what's the chat saying? Now compare the scissors photos. Don't go down the rabbit hole too far. Yeah, exactly. Could that leaf be a partial piece of a maple leaf? Unlikely, especially, maples are not that common at that elevation or in that area. In Montana in general, in Wyoming and those areas, they need a much different
I have one in my
environment.
front yard. They must need cold and flat land.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Jeep Girl Jody, Amy, Susie, what do you guys think? Well, we like to think about a lot. No, specify Jeep Girl Jody. Maybe I should start believing the dirt looks like similar dirt. Yeah, so I'm still on the fence. I'm still open. I can't say this enough. I'm still open. I think it's intriguing and it's fun to investigate. But I don't know. There's too many not quites. There's too many not quites for me to jump on board yet.
It feels really contrived. It feels really...
Because you can force anything into something. Right. Yeah. For me, the hardest thing I have is thinking that Forrest would have put in a shortcut.
Exactly. That doesn't sit right. There's got to be it's got to be
why would Forrest call the finder a genius? Or whatever he said for finding it, if it was just numbers in there that other people had, I remember seeing that potential theory with those numbers, and what people would do is they'd find a place in Yellowstone, then they match the numbers up and say maybe this is the correct solution, and that was one of the spots that people have searched. So I'd be curious if, I know a lot of people have moved on already from the Forrest Fenn hunt. It was their one time in armchair hunting and they're done. But I would be curious if there was any way to take a poll of the number of people who searched that area to see how well they searched it, where they went, and if they went to that spot, or, that kind of stuff.
Because there's still a percentage of Forrest Fenn searchers that are not letting go or can't let go yet, or need that resolution, that just can't
still want to solve it,
move on to a different whatever. It's just it's human nature to want to settle it, and I think some people have that drive more than others.
And here I want to say something really quick to the Gay Delkin, Eugene. So a lot of people say this looks bowed. And I know, Eugene, you're familiar with optics. So if this were taken at a certain angle and then cropped, it is possible it was taken at a much wider angle, which would have bowed certain straight lines optically, especially with wide-angle lens with a camera or with a phone. So I think there is potential that depending on how this was cropped originally, how this image was taken originally, if it was a pretty wide angle, depending on that stuff, we might have gotten this more of an illusion, plus the dirt here. We've got the dirt buildup here. So is it an optical illusion with the optics of the lens that this is bending a little bit here, plus the dirt buildup, which gives it more of an illusion? That's... I wonder about that. Optics can do funny things. A lot of people have also talked about the thickness of the wood here versus the thickness of the wood in...
Yeah, it's swollen,
right, the moisture could have done that, depending on how long it took for the finder to return the chest to Forrest. I know I have the picture in here somewhere. There we go. So obviously at this point the chest has been cleaned up. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, cleaned up well, right? This is clean.
I would too, wouldn't ya? I mean, before you took it to Forrest, I mean,
it would be fun to clean, really. It'd be like, I'm just gonna clean up my bronze ancient
my
chest
precious.
here.
I want to play. I'm gonna roll around, like, you know,
The
Scrooge
thickness.
McDuck
Yeah, Scrooge McDucket. Oh my
or
god.
whatever. Yeah.
So the thickness here compared to the other photos, this seems a lot thinner than the others. And so that's another thing that somebody brought up. Obviously, it's a tricky thing to speak to as far as whether or not, how long the chest had then been in the dry air. With wood expanding and unexpanding and that kind of stuff being cleaned up. So, but it is a good point. The bowing, is it an optical illusion due to the optics of a wide-angle camera? And maybe it, you know, you wouldn't initially think so because we have a very cropped image. But what if we had a wider angle image and we are just seeing the cropped image, and therefore the bowing seems more exaggerated than if it was a wider angle or a wider picture? So Eugene, that's my comment on that, but it's a good point. You know, we have the dragon coat bracelet that, you know, was in a Ziploc baggie, and then it was in a regular bag, and then it was rusted by the scissors. So we do have some inconsistencies. Unfortunately, without knowing more, that's all they are right now, is inconsistencies, and we can guesstimate at what it might be, but without more information. Oh, Silver Fox. I hate to bring this up again, but what about Forrest's email to you saying that eventually the whole story would come out? Yes, I know. He seemed to imply some certainty about that, like it was planned, like there was no question. Silver Fox, I agree.
Yeah, he's promised us more will come out, and so it's like, that's fun to talk about. Like, what do you think? How do you think that information is going to be presented to us? Like, you know, are we going to get to see, you know, like, is this going to be a movie? Is this going to be a documentary type situation? Is this going to come out in, you know, or is it going to be...
So, Gay Delkin, I was a photographer for 10 years professionally, and I have seen stuff like that. So I don't know why you haven't. There's actually an app in Photoshop and other ones where you can put in the lens that you use so it can correct the bowing, especially when you're taking pictures of tall buildings. Sorry to interrupt, so go back. But I wanted to mention that because, I mean, if you have taken, I mean, those kind of aberrations with optics is very, very common. And if we don't have the whole picture, then we don't know where the bowing happened and why as far as that lens is concerned. But again, like Gidelkin, Eugene is in Zooms too, so maybe in Zoom we can discuss that. So go back to Susie. Sorry to interrupt. We were talking about knowing more. How are we going to know more? Because Forrest seemed very clear in that email to me that eventually it'll all come out and be an asterisk in history. And he really felt like it's going to just disappear pretty
Yes,
soon.
he said that. Okay, so you got that from Forrest. And the Medium article, the Real Finder promised us there's more. We're going to get more. So, but it's fun to speculate what that more looks like, what that more is going to be. Is it going to be a book? Is it going to be a interview? Is it going to be like he still could do an anonymous interview, or is it going to be a group of people? Is it going to be, you know, I mean, that still doesn't, you know, just because we have the impression it's one guy, millennial with a family from back east, maybe he is the first man for more, you know, a partnership or more than one person to follow. But
the fact that he has to sell it, that's the one thing that most of us are like, obviously we're going to know more because he does have to sell it. You know, the chest is worthless financially unless you sell it or tell the story about it or do something, act on it. Otherwise you just have a chest full of gold and ancient artifacts. But
and
if
so
you can't sell them,
maybe it is a part of maybe it is filming a documentary is happening, and maybe the sale of the chest and where the chest ends up, maybe that's a part of the story. You know, like our story is not over yet here. And so as the finder,
the finder
it's still
said,
not, as
Forrest
the
wanted
finder,
something.
you still have more things to do. The chest is not,
yeah,
you know,
a lot to do, right?
exactly. And so the story is still being going. So
Yeah.
it's the
It's exciting.
it's exciting, and it's the when is this going to happen, and the
Tell
you
us,
know,
just okay. If the finder, I know the
yeah,
finder's
they
not
can just
watching,
say, you know
but if
what,
they're watching, just give us a time frame.
I'm working on a movie, I'm working on a documentary, and it's going to take 9 more months of
Yeah.
filming or whatever before the auction, and
Or
then
just say months. You don't even have to say what you're doing. Just say
yeah, right,
a few
whatever,
months,
say
a
say
year,
because
a
of the
couple of years.
circumstances, it's gonna be this long.
Oh, hey, maybe that comment was from the actual finder. What did they say? Put it all away for a season. One season.
What is a season? The fall season, the season of fall, the summer season. We can put that, you know, or is it a certain
I could do
season?
2 seasons. I could do a whole year if I just knew. If I just knew.
Yes, true that.
But I am thrilled that we have even an article. I mean, it is giving us all something to have a blast with. I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty clear I like analyzing things.
I mean, that's why we're all here, because that's what,
Yeah,
you know,
we puzzle people.
we're all, yeah, of the same trees of the same forest, you know.
Oh, let's see it. Look at us Friday night, looking
There's
at logs
50
and
people.
leaves. Looking at logs and leaves.
There's 50 people right there with us. Ooh, fist bump,
Well,
y'all.
to give you guys an idea, these are just the books I pulled for. These are just some, right? These are the ones that are more focused on the Yellowstone area. You know, I am a reference book. I don't know. It's so. If I need information, I don't have to go on the internet. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, books are so much more fun to,
Tactile.
you know. Mm-hmm.
I know. So like I went in here. Where is it? So I went in here and I looked up the area they were hiking around, and I read the little excerpt about it, and it actually tells us. So I'll go to the map again real quick. Were you here, Susie, when I read that, or did you hear it?
I don't know.
Here we go.
I could have been. It could have been while I was cooking. I was listening and not.
I'll go to Justin's map that he pulled. So these are Justin's pictures, and he put them up on Facebook. If you guys want to see that. And in here somewhere is Justin's map. Oh, no. Other way. Oh, I'm getting fast at this. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Okay, so DeLacy Creek. This is the area they're talking about as far as searching and thinking it has the potential for being the spot. So I looked up in my little Yellowstone book, DeLacy Creek. And I should probably talk louder. I get all quiet when I get contemplative. DeLacy, 110. 110. All right, so go to 110. And this book, oh, I love the smell of this book. It smells so good. Okay, so this is the information about DeLacy Creek where they were searching. DeLacy Creek Trailhead, opposite the parking area, which is right here. You see the parking area right here.
It's opposite. Okay, I already like that. That it's on. You have to cross a road.
You have to cross a road. And then this trail leads through forest and meadow, south, 3.5 miles to the shore of Shoshone Lake, connecting with trails around that lake and along Lewis Lake channel to Lewis Lake and South Entrance Road. This, as you can see, is the little treasure spot. This is where they think it might have been hidden. During most of the summer, it may be hard to keep your boots dry. Parallel deep tracks show heavy use by hikers and fishermen. Walter W. DeLacy, for whom the creek was named, was an Army captain and civil engineer who passed through this part of future park territory in 1863 with a party of prospectors. Shoshone Lake was called DeLacy Lake for some time, in honor of his discovery that it is part of the Snakes River drainage, not Madison Rivers, as previously believed. So
And
this is their area.
And isn't that symbol below where it says DeLacy Creek? Isn't that a picnic area symbol?
Yes, that's a picnic area symbol.
Yeah, and so doesn't that just fit with bring a 6-pack and a sandwich? I mean,
Oh, there you go.
you know, a map symbol of.
So, and you can see here, so I'll share this. I know it's going to be hard for you guys to see. But so this is the book Yellowstone Treasures. And here's a map. Let's see here. So this blue area right here is Shoshone Lake. And then Isa Lake is up from there. So anyway, that's, I guess I should put a little bookmark in there. Anyway, that's the area that they think potentially is the area where the chest was found, which is why we're discussing all the plants and everything. Justin said there was no deciduous plants there whatsoever, and that's why that little aspen leaf, or potentially an aspen leaf, has us going, But since there's only one, could it have blown in from somewhere else? And for sure, is it an aspen leaf? Definitively, it's not something we can actually say. We can just guess based off of an analysis.
And no matter what, it's something fun to play with, even if all this information ends up not being the place and not being right or whatever. It gives us something to grab onto, something to play with, something to ponder, an idea to kick,
Right?
So fine,
It is good for our brains because we're trying to deduce something very Sherlock Holmesy.
It feels good to go back into that lane, into that thinking lane, and have it relate to the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, because that's Fennhaven. There,
Fennhaven, Susie Fennhaven.
It's where I want to be, So it's really fun to play. Yeah.
Silver Fox says, Forrest also said in a video, there is a way to tell if somebody has found my chest after I'm gone, but I'm saving it for the finder. It's part of the story, and I think it's significant. I know, right? What the heck was that? I know, right? That such a huge unanswered question. Because I can. The finder is still in the wood. Ha ha ha. Alan K., is there a canyon nearby? Well, that's a good question. So I remember when they were talking about it before, there's something that they think could be interpreted as a canyon. Technically, geologically speaking, I think it is a canyon. But they said it wasn't like clear, like super clear. So from what I remember, I don't remember if it was on my show or K-Pro's show, K-Pro Cal. And it's funny because, I want to say, don't forget to subscribe to Susie Fennhaven and Greg Talk Chase and K-Pro Cow. But I know that all of you are subscribed to K-Pro Cow, which is the only reason you know who I am. So subscribe to them too if you haven't already. But I know, of course, you have. What is deciduous? Oh, deciduous. So maples. So pine trees, right, have needles and things like that. That's a pine. And deciduous are the ones with leaves, So... well, actually, I could probably give you a much better
opposed to evergreen. Yeah, it's evergreen or,
Oh, that's the flower finder. So one of the things that, like one of the many books is when you're looking for leaves of 3, there's the wild strawberry right there. But the reason I like having multiple books is because images, information, all that kind of stuff can be different. So you cross-reference your reference books and you get a much better idea of what is and isn't happening. So I bet there's a good description in here, but I don't know for sure. And some of the books are just these tiny little things, and they're just fabulous because you can take them on the hike with you and quickly figure out what plants are doing what. Alpine zones, subalpine, montane, foothill zone, all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. And I don't want to do it injustice, but the basics are deciduous is leafy, and then your pine trees have the needles. That's the basics. Didn't Forrest say that wind would affect the treasure? Anyone remember that quote? Where he was talking about the different elements. Fire could burn it. This could do this. This could do that. Look what the fire did to the Twin Towers. I think he said something like that in that quote. Oh, and Alan K responds, yes, sir. And he said it is most likely element to impact and affect the treasure. I always thought that was funny because in the Rocky Mountains you don't have a lot of tornadoes, but we do have a lot of flatline winds and things like that. We'll come by. Oh, there it is, the reference for wood.
Yeah, look at, I mean, it's just, they're just so good. I mean, it's just, he's so good.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Oh, see, those are your needles? Okay, so check out the needles. Oh, I'm going to switch to speaker view. So these are, oopsie, I'm going to stop talking. Oh, Susie, you talk, and then I'll go back to you for speaker view. Or I guess I'll go back to gallery view. So what area are those pines from? So in different, so it's easy to recognize lodgepole pines because in the Rocky Mountains, especially the area of Yellowstone, it's the dominant, it's one of the very dominant trees that you'll see there. So when you see the two needle, you're like, it's lodgepole pine. And you also notice that they're just straight up and down, which is why they call them lodgepole pines, because they would build lodges out of them.
And he's just describing, I mean, the way he describes a pine tree is a soft wood, you know, he just is doing a general thing. And then,
okay, so I'll switch to speaker view real quick.
What's going on there?
I don't know if I agree with this, but she says this is the stick. It won't focus. I'm gonna have to change my focusing.
There's no way that guy would put the stick back. You would keep that stick. You would keep that stick. Will you keep that stick?
I still.
Or would you just go take the picture?
I hope that's one of the things the Finder clears up for us. What the heck is with the stick? I am totally gonna make T-shirts that just have the stick on it.
I sent Davio a stick.
I know, that was awesome. And the check for not having found it, $0. Congratulations.
They were asterisks, you know, like a star line instead of, you know, it was all asterisks. Yeah.
He sends another message. Okay, so we know the Finder is going to come back to us. Thank you very much, Finder. We appreciate any information that you do give us. And I hope that none of this analysis is too accusatory, because that's definitely not the point. Nomadic Madman, when the Finder sends another message, then all the believers will probably come back to the search. Meanwhile, I envy closure. I envy closure very much so. Yeah. Chasing Indy. So I'm guessing Chasing Indy is not coming back. Let me see. Let me verify in my emails.
But you know what is what we're missing is obviously there's information that they can't share about this whole thing that made them find that closure, you know. So I don't know.
Okay. Let's see here. What is it here? Okay. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Got one of your emails. Thank you. And I actually got an email. I got another cryptic email. Dang it. You guys are killing me. It has been so much fun. I've been getting so many cryptic things. And oh my gosh. It's like I'm in a spy novel. I have to say that's one of my favorite parts of you know, like receiving a cipher. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's my first cipher I've ever solved. I totally geeked out.
Are you secretly doing Morse code tonight? And we and we don't know. There you go.
So
you're gonna be so good at all this.
Well, okay, I'll show you my stack of cipher books. I think I've shown them before, but hold on.
Amy, you are hysterical. Are those all new, or have you had those in your library for?
Oh, wait,
You're
wait,
gonna figure everything out.
Jenny Kyle.
Amy figures everything out. Oh, that's fantastic.
In case anyone doubts my commitment. It was actually fun. In one of the Zooms, I was going through one of my cipher books because we know that the Vegas Die author has a cipher book and a book on poisons, right? And we know that he put a couple ciphers in his book, and we know the name of one of them. And so I was like, I want to go through my cipher books to see if I can find this cipher, because if I do, maybe that's the same cipher book that he owns, and maybe for his future treasure hunts.
Ah.
And while we were doing that, I was flipping through, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And so we actually found the cipher in the book, and it's an affordable book, so one of the smaller ones. And so that's what happens. Like, so sign up for the Calazar treasure hunt Zooms. Susie can testify to how they're just all about solving stuff.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna be right back, Amy. I'm not leaving you.
Okay.
I gotta go get my.
Well, I think eventually Susie Susie should go live, and we should switch over to her channel. I was waiting because Chasing Indy was saying, I'll be back with these photographs, but she doesn't know for sure. So let's see here. JK Pioneer knowledge. Yes. Here is a cryptic message. The gold has left the forest. When the moon rises again, the finder will sing again. Don't show this message to anyone. It will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Oh my God. I tried to buy a cipher book, but I couldn't decrypt the barcode. I love hanging out with you guys. I really do. It's just fun. But yeah, I think we should switch over, since Indy isn't coming back. I think we should switch over to Susie's channel. And if you haven't, Susie Fenhaven, go over there and subscribe. She has some really awesome discussions.
Hey, Matt.
Hello. So do you think?
We got to my battery's about to die.
Well, I was thinking, why don't we wrap this up and go over to your channel, and I'll be in the chat. What would you like to do?
I know. Is there still more to talk about? Well, always, right? I mean,
right.
Right.
All right, chat. What should we do? Help us out here. Susie, if you're familiar, Susie has been doing Friday shows, and so I think it would be fun for Susie to go live, and we can just keep chatting.
Oh, I did a show last Friday. But I haven't. I mean, that was the only Friday show I've ever done.
Yeah, but you were thinking about doing Fridays.
But thought about it because it's like, can't ever get enough. But that was a horrible show.
No, it wasn't. If it was horrible, we wouldn't have all stuck around in chat talking.
Well, I watched I put it on private now because I just cringe.
Oh, you did?
I cringe. I can't. Okay. It's like,
Susie,
oh my God,
you have to understand that is so natural. So I have been trying to rewatch the AGK video because everyone's like, oh, there's so much great information on there. And I press play and I'm like, nope, can't. Nope, can't. I can't watch me or listen to me.
I can't believe I said all this. I can't believe I did this. Like, oh my God, I'm dying here. I can't believe this is out for the world. It's just,
you're completely exposed.
Fodder for all the bullet. Oh my God.
I know, you're completely exposed. It's like, hello, This is
and then I
me.
go through that whole thing. It's like, do I really care? And if I don't go looking for this information, or I don't go looking for people that are making fun of me or are making fun of my bit, if I don't go looking for that, then I don't know about it, and then it doesn't matter. It just doesn't.
If a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it, does it make a sound?
You know, I think, do I care about what people think really? You know, and then I'm, you know, I feel good about it,
You
fine
have to
about it, and then
care.
it just sinks my brain, and it's like, oh, I can't do that. Oh my God, no.
You have to care about the people who know you. The people who know you will be honest. The people who know you will say, hey, you got spinach in your teeth. It's like, thank you, right? Those are the people whose opinions really need to matter. So I'm going to say this again because it's a psychological truth that happens on social media. So in some of the comments, and like I say, I get bad comments too, but I'd have to be a moron not to think that wasn't going to happen. I'm like, of course people are going to hate me. It's what happens on social media. So and most of the time, and I feel bad, but it's hard to take those comments seriously because some of them are just from people who are really angry, right? And they attribute things to you, right? So here's a psychological thing that happened on one of my videos where there were a lot of comments, and I was claimed by the far right, and I was claimed by the far left, and then I was accused of being the far right, and I was accused of being the far left, right? So it went these extremes both ways. One person said, you're obviously a bleeding heart Democrat, and the other said, you're obviously a MAGA cult leader, right? So you can't be both, right? So it says more about someone who's angry with you and has put you in an evil category, and since they don't know enough about you, they attribute things to what they think an evil person would have. So it has very little to do with who you are as a person, which is why, you know, I feel bad that I don't take those comments very seriously because they are upset and they want me to listen. But, you know, if they don't know you, it's kind of hard. It's like, well, obviously I'm not both. So you have to take that in consideration. People are always going to say things when they're mad. And it's like, I appreciate that you're angry and I'm really sorry. But, since they don't know you, it's like, that's not who I am, but how would you know? Because you don't know me. So that's just what happens.
Right. And it's like, I don't know. People are really good. I mean, I have good comments. I don't have people coming attacking me, like it's not about that. It's about where I'm more worried about what I don't know is going on.
Are you really? Oh,
I know. And isn't that silly? Like worry about something that might be going on out there.
I mean, it's natural. It's natural to worry about that. Like, because you're putting yourself out there. It's like, hi, here's my big nose. Hi, here's my goofy voice. Hi, I can't talk without using my hands. Hi, it's like you're exposing yourself to, it's like, here's all the things you can make fun of, right? And who knows who's doing it where.
Exactly.
In private groups,
what
on
clips
live shows.
Right. Or is somebody taking a chicken body and sticking my head on top, making me dance somewhere? I don't.
Oh my God. If any of the channels do that, I don't know if I want to see it. Part of me is like, oh, I want to see that.
I do want to see that.
And part of me is like, I can't see that. No, because I can't unsee it. I don't want to see something that I can't unsee.
Or me just being real or being raw or start crying over, I just don't need, that I got this ugly me. Like next thing
I know. So, you can't, that's the thing. I knew that when I started my channel, that those things would occur. And if I was going to worry about them, I wasn't going to do a channel. I'm like, no, I can't. I have to be okay with the fact that those things are going to happen. And social media gives us all these different tools to try and address things that are over the line, right? Social media gives us tools to try and address that, which is wonderful. But there's some things that social media can't do anything about. And you have to be like,
It felt better when I didn't show my face, when it was nothing to do with when it was nothing to do with my appearance,
When it was just a book on a screen.
and took that element of judgment out of the deal, that judging your information by what you look like or whatever, So I
superficial things.
Right. And so it's like, okay, because a cheap shot is about somebody's looks and somebody's going to do that, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or,
Which is why,
not take you seriously. It's like, oh, because she's not, whatever. And
Yeah,
so when
yeah.
that's removed, it's easier. But when you're, when you're like, there you
Oh, you
are.
wouldn't. I have gotten so many comments that are like, you guys drink a lot. And I'm like, like, I guess it depends on what you compare it to, It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm not drinking today. I drink a lot of 7-Up today. I mean,
well, again, it's someone who's wanting
all depends on
to
the
hurt
day.
you. It's somebody who's wanting to hurt you intentionally. That's someone who's wanting to hurt you. And I feel bad.
Yeah, who cares how much you drink or I drink? Why does anyone really even care? I mean,
well, but like, that's what I mean. It's someone who is intentionally trying to, get ya. It's like,
oh yeah,
like, gosh, and that's why I feel bad.
I've been called Auntie Wino from another channel. It's like, oh, isn't she cute doing her videos? That's just like Auntie Wino.
I like that, though. I think those things but yeah, when it's it's clear that sometimes it is intentional, and I feel bad because I'm like, I want to just say, it's funny, but then I know that would upset them more because they want me to say, hey, they want me to be upset.
They want a reaction.
And I feel bad when I'm not upset. I feel bad that I can't give them that. I'm like, I wish I could. Like I say, when you have trauma in your life, it's hard to take those things as anything. It's like, that's okay, they're mad. They're mad, they want to date, whatever it is, it's like, So I just, as long as most people are having fun. Angela Jolly. That's exactly why I didn't get in front of the camera, because I'm wild. Canopy of stars in the lush. Oh, that's interesting. Gadelkin said, Eugene said, a canopy of stars in the lush forest. And they did say on that trail, you'd have a hard time keeping your boots dry. Silver Fox, Susie, Fenhaven, you both have beautiful souls. It's refreshing. Hey, Silver. It was nice meeting you at Fenbury. Loki, you guys are braver than me. I don't like the spotlight. Appreciate people like you, Susie, give us shows something to talk about. Well, that's the thing. Susie and I both are not, like, I guess we're not comfortable in front of the camera.
Obviously not.
And so, I don't know if brave's the word or just like, what the hell? I mean, you reach a certain age too. But that's very sweet. Thank you, Loki. Oh, Lush, people who drink.
Oh.
I'm a lush. I mean, yeah, I'm someone who definitely has well, I saw this, I've seen this posted so many times by celebrities and everyone else who are my age or older, and we always say, thank God social media didn't exist when we were younger.
Thank God there wasn't cell phones. Oh my stars.
I mean, we've all been young and stupid.
Oh my, 25-year-old Susie with that's like horrifying.
I know. We really dodged bullets by being
I would have never made it out of high school. Oh my God.
We got very lucky. Who was it? I think it was Seth MacFarlane or somebody who was saying something like that, but I've seen it multiple times.
The golden age before internet. Oh man.
Before someone could go click, you're drunk at a party or,
at the
dancing.
Oh.
Oh, I gave people a screenshot.
Oh my God, you're triggering me into thinking what could have been.
I would love to be pedestal, like I don't drink that. I've never drank that much, all that kind of stuff, but I was young and stupid just like all the rest of,
Oh, and the level of bullying if catching somebody at a stupid, adolescent brain moment, when you're not even fully developed. You're 19 years old, you should not still be making.
We're so stupid in our teens
so
and our
stupid.
20s. Oh my God, we're stupid.
No,
All right,
but
Susie,
you know everything. Yeah.
are you going live? Come on, I'm ending this thing. We're going over to your channel.
Okay, I will for a bit. Okay, let me get my stuff set up because I have to go. I do that on my laptop and go get another 7-Up or make a cup of tea or something.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, everyone. So let's see here. Let's see. I need to put into the chat your site. How do I do that? Hold on, I can do that. I'm going to put.
It's just Susie Fenhaven.
And I'm going to put the link in. Here we go. Oh, look at that. I'm subscribed. Have been for quite some time. Okay, cool. I think I'm doing this right. Huli would be very proud of me.
Yeah, is Huli in here tonight? I wonder how she's doing. She was just, I wonder.
She is doing good. Okay, I think this works. Okay, there we go. There's Susie's channel. Yay!
Well,
hey,
thanks for having me, Amy, and thanks for the rock show and the meteorite and just, I mean, what a fun, refreshing topic and right up.
We had meteorites, we had plant analysis, we had Fen discussion, we have the new scrapbook out. I can't wait to watch that video. Holy crud. Yeah. I might watch that video while you're getting ready to go live.
Yeah.
I'm putting my pajamas on. I'm getting cozy with a cup of tea to watch Susie.
I don't have a relationship with Dale enough. Alan had put, why don't I ask Dale if I can show his video and we can, watch it together, but I don't have a relationship with Dale enough where I could just send it, and go, hey Dale, can I do that?
I'll email him. I'll email him and ask. He doesn't check email that often though. It's not like he's not on the par, but I'll email him and ask.
But he just posted, that could have been on a timer though.
Well, yeah, but doing that, so like I have all these devices, right? On my phone, I don't have Facebook, right? So people message me. I have to go on my iPad, download this, I don't have email on my phone either. So Dale's kind of the same way, especially with the internet on Lumi Island being, sketchy sometimes. So yeah, he's not social media quick. But I will email him as soon as we get off and just ask him if it would be okay for you to play on your channel.
Yeah, that would be something interesting to talk about. Okay. And
I got the email from the person who was going to email me, so I did get that one as well. Yeah, and so I'll be live. I wasn't supposed to go live at all this week, and it was just supposed to be a short show about meteorites, about Justin's meteorite. But as usual, it's turned into a marathon. So I'll be live next Wednesday after AGK. And Tuesday, Candy will be live. So look for watching Chasing Indy on Tuesday next week. And then I will be live interviewing Gypsy's Kiss after their show. I know it's a little redundant, but we'll be doing another interview. So send your questions if you're working on the AGK hunt. Send your questions to amyseeksadventure@gmail.com, and I'll ask those on the show if you can't make it. We'll also be doing a giveaway on that show. So we'll be doing that. And Bobby D, don't forget to like or dislike this video and click the subscribe button if you want to see more. How's that? Did I do good, Bobby D? You'll have to watch this later. All right, you guys.
What did you do? See you soon.
Thank you, Susie. I'm excited for you to start doing, if you feel like it, for you to start doing Friday evenings. I think that would be very fun.
Okay.
But again, you have to do a no pressure thing. So like when you feel pressure to go live, it's like, I'm not fucking going live.
Oh,
it's like,
it's like brain crushing. But if it's like, okay, let's just do it. Okay, fine. If you think about it too much, you're gonna.
Yeah, or if you're concerned about, like, I know a lot of people are concerned about subscribers or who's gonna watch and all that stuff. It's like, just have fun. Who cares?
Right.
We're not making money on these things.
No.
So it's got to be just for fun. We're losing money, buying things anyway. All right, Susie. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, in chat.
Okay,
All right,
bye-bye.
go over to her channel, everyone. I love you guys. I just love hanging out with you guys. And I'm always so impressed in the chat. CJC, Wonder, Captain Marvel, hi everybody. Great chat. Thank you, LNK, Justin Posey, Susie Penny, Chasing Indy. Yeah, everyone, it was a really fun Friday. I'll see you guys over on Susie Penhaven's channel. Mwah!